kind of the biggest news.
I agree.
Live from Studio B in the Annenberg Media School at USC, this is the Talk of Troy, where we talk a big game, but we have even bigger opinions. Alongside Joshua Sacker, I'm Jude Ocanas, and for one final time, J Square is here to give you the latest in all of the sports world. And, we got to start with the big story, Josh, and that is not your guys' Spotify rap. We do not care.
We'll get into that a little later.
We'll get into that later. But we got to talk about the college football playoffs, because that is what has taken, honestly, the world by storm. I mean, college football as a whole, and we will be talking about Lane Kiffin, because Josh, he's got opinions.
Got a lot to say.
He's got a lot of opinions on Lane Kiffin, but we're going to hold it for now. So we're going to start with the college football playoffs, which just got announced and pretty much, I would say, is set. We still have championship weekend, so there still can be some movement, especially when it comes to who's that 11th seed, who's that 12th seed, is Notre Dame still in, all those type of questions. But for now, the first four teams right now are Indiana. I'm sorry, I'll start number one. Ohio State's number one, Indiana at number two, Georgia at three, and Texas Tech number four. Oregon is currently number five. At number seven, Texas A&M. They don't move down too much after the Texas loss. And then at number eight, you got Oklahoma. Number nine, Alabama. Number 10, Notre Dame. I did forget Ole Miss at number six. So overall, a lot of SEC schools right there. What did you before we go into, because I do think it'll be fun to do a little dark horse, so we think he's going to be a champion. What did you make off what was your one takeaway right off the bat?
Well, I think, again, we talked about this a couple weeks ago earlier on the show about Notre Dame, and you brought up Notre Dame.
Yeah.
It is mind-boggling to me that the committee is putting Notre Dame in over Miami. I know they talked about how the list is fluid and it's not finished yet. Stephen A., the list is fluid. But still, it is unbelievable to me that they beat them head-to-head. I understand it was the first week, but still, if you beat a team head-to-head,
it has to count for something.
You have the exact same record. I understand Miami has those losses to Louisville and SMU, and Notre Dame has a win over us, USC, ranked team. But still, I don't understand how the committee can sit there and put Notre Dame over a Miami team, which it's not like they're that far apart. No. They both played a lot of good teams this year. Obviously, Notre Dame's schedule maybe a little bit easier. They still played a pretty cakewalk schedule, and they're going to put Notre Dame in over Miami. I would be shocked, and I'm praying, Jude, Duke can find a way to upset Virginia in the ACC championship. So then the committee has to sit there, and it will literally be between those two teams, and in front of national audience, they need to pick who's going to be in the playoff. What was your reaction?
Do games even matter? Honestly, does games even matter? Because at the end of the day, the committee picks who they want. And to me, when I saw Alabama in front of a team like Notre Dame, and I know we just talked about Notre Dame, Alabama they barely beat Auburn. Right? They barely beat Auburn. And Notre Dame, as much as I think Miami should be ahead of them, they finished their business rightfully. I think they blew out whoever they played by 50 or 60.
Yeah, it killed Syracuse.
It's the same thing every year, and it's not going to change. The SEC is always going to have some bias. I was very glad Texas did not find its way in. And
yes.
I would have been pissed if Texas found their way in. I understand you beat Texas A&M at the end of the season.
It's a big win.
It's a big win.
You're 3-loss.
You're 3-loss team. And I know this whole dialogue, and I got sick of it. Oh, but we lost to Ohio State. You scheduled Ohio State.
Yeah,
you chose to play them.
We've talked about this earlier in past weeks on the show. Like, certain teams make that choice to put a big game against a ranked team at the beginning of the year. You're making that risk to either improve your strength of schedule, or if you drop that game, you drop that game.
Exactly.
And it's just so interesting to me. And the issue is it's so subjective. All this is so subjective. And everyone was like, oh, we're moving from 4 teams to 12. It's going to fix everything. No, it's not, because now teams like Vandy, they're 2-loss, and they're arguing why they should be in. It actually makes it worse. BYU arguing that they should be in. I think BYU's one loss.
One loss right now. Their one loss is at Texas Tech.
To Texas Tech, and we will get into. And now you're averaging out strength of schedule and best wins and worst losses.
You know what they have to get rid of? They have to get rid of the automatic bid to a conference champion. I think that is the only case, because you have a team in Duke that could potentially make it at 7-5.
I actually think they won't make it, because the thing is, it's the best four.
Okay, that's right.
It's the best four Power 5. So what they might do is, if JMU wins, they might put James Madison in, and then the winner of North Texas and Tulane. Right. But No one wants to see that game.
No. It should be the 12 best teams.
No one wants to see Oregon beating JMU by 50 points. That's not going to be fun.
And I hate to say this because Ashton Jeanty had a hell of a year. It was the same case with Boise State.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I get it. They won their conference champion. They dominated. They played in the Mountain West.
Yeah.
And we saw very early. Who did they play in I'm trying to remember who they played in the first round last year.
They had the bye, and then they lost to Penn State.
And then Penn State. And it was, like, so obvious. It was like, okay, there are different levels to this. But everyone knew that.
Yeah.
Everyone knew that.
The whole reason why they implemented the year that UCF, they were undefeated. And the argument was like, okay, we're undefeated. We deserve to be in.
Yeah.
If a non-Power 4 school goes undefeated and wins their conference, yes, you should be in. A 2-loss Tulane team has no reason being in the college football playoff. And I just think every year there's arguments, there's teams that get left out that should be in, and I just wish there was metrics in an objective way, like professional sports, to figure this all out.
I heard it was something interesting Joel Klatt said. I do think there needs to be kind of this commissioner. They need to finally bring in a commissioner. They need to bring someone in. Maybe it's within the circle of the committee who picks these teams. But there needs to be someone that says at the end of these committees, this is why we chose them. This is why we didn't. Because honestly, I get it. People are going to hate you regardless, right? Do people like Adam Silver sometimes? No. Do people like Roger Goodell? No. They boo him when he goes up to the draft stage. But the point is, at least he can come up at front. He's a figure, and people can be like, okay, you know what? At least they gave us a reason. We don't have to agree with the reason, but they gave us a reason. Every time we get these rankings, it's an ESPN show of 4 analysts talking about it. There's no truly that's actually like, oh, this is a reason why we picked it, right? Like,
and it's not even them. It's just the committee. The committee.
It's
like this mysterious figure.
It's like in Severance, right? Like it's in Severance. It's like the third floor or whatever.
Yeah, it's not one single person that can accept blame or take responsibility. It's just the committee, and fans just have to deal with it. Jude, obviously, we just talked about a lot of things that are wrong with the bracket. That being said, if this is the final,
I will still be watching.
If this is the final bracket, who's a dark horse team you think could make a run?
So I went with Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech has a potential to do it, and I actually think they're going to put the word on notice when they, not going to use that word, but when they slap BYU this week for a second time this season. Texas Tech has one of the best defenses in college football. I can go through their rankings. They're 6th in total defense. They're 4th in defensive success rate. 3rd in points allowed this season. You got Ohio State, and I think it's Oregon or maybe like Georgia up there. Whatever it may be, they are 3rd. And they have a Jacob Rodriguez, a linebacker, he's not going to win a Heisman. There's no chance he's going to win a Heisman. But he has 100 total tackles. He has 4 interceptions, 7 forced fumbles. I mean, this dude is a freak. And honestly, when you have a linebacker like that in the center of your defense, everyone else respects it and they play as hard as they can. So Texas Tech, I think this team offensively, they've had some struggles, but they also still put up points. And their win against BYU, they beat them 29-7. Against Utah, which was another number 16 team at the time, 34-10. So this offense could put up points. And the reason I do say they're a dark horse, I'm looking at this bracket, and right, if this stays the same,
dark horse, those 4 seed.
They're a dark horse. Okay. They're not an SEC school.
Okay.
They're not a Big Ten school. I understand, yes, I could have gone for like an Ole Miss or something.
Sure.
But I don't think anyone's really giving the respect to Texas Tech compared to other schools.
Deserve, yeah.
But I look at this path, and obviously Oregon is probably going to play some former conference champion. You said potentially JMU. They'll probably beat them. I legitimately think if Oregon goes into Texas Tech, that's not an easy atmosphere to play in, right?
No,
that is not an easy atmosphere to play in. And I think Oregon's good, but look, they haven't really beat anyone that great this year, right? I mean, their one loss was to Indiana this season. I mean, sure, they beat us, and that was beat
tough. Penn State earlier in the year,
exactly,
but they
beat
fell
Penn State.
off.
But I think, look, then they would get into the issue of then they'd have to play Ohio State. And I mean, we can already talk about Ohio State's going to win it this year. Yeah, Ohio State's going to win it. But who's your dark horse?
I think, we'll get into Ohio State in a second. For me, dark horse, just based off the seeding, I think I'm going to take Texas A&M. I think they were undefeated up until that loss against Texas, which obviously not a great loss. It was in Texas and not a great game for them, but I still think up until that point they were undefeated and people were arguing that they deserved that number 1 over Ohio State because of the wins that they had. And I think Marcel Reed is an incredible dual quarterback for them. Over 3,500 total yards, 35 touchdowns. So I think he has the ability to lead his team.
Receivers too.
Great receivers as well. And I think they actually, obviously you want to win that game and compete for an SEC championship, but now that they're not playing in the SEC championship, I think they have a week off. They get to prepare, come back, and then I think their side of the bracket is, to your point, we'll touch on Ohio State in a second. They don't have to face Ohio State. Granted, Ohio State beats Indiana this week in the Big Ten championship, but they don't have to face Ohio State until the championship.
Just go through right now. If this were to stand, they'd play Notre Dame.
Played Notre Dame home at Kyle Field, which is the 12th man. That's a really, really hard place
Texas
to play.
Texas A&M already beat them.
Yeah, already beat them. This time they'd be playing them at home. I think Texas A&M wins that. And then Indiana... I don't know. Indiana is such a question mark.
I think Saturday will say a lot about what Indiana
will say
is.
A ton. If they compete with Ohio State, I'll bite my tongue a little bit. Yeah. If they get blown out by Ohio State, there's no reason why Texas A&M,
it's totally fair,
had an argument to be the number 1, number 2 team in the country, can't go into Bloomington and beat them. So I think it's going to be a really interesting playoff. First, we got to see what happens with the decisions. But to your point, Ohio State just seems light years ahead of everyone else. I mean, their defense is allowing 7.5 points a game.
I mean, they have everybody on that defense is playing on Sunday.
I mean,
in the next couple of years. I mean, that's how
Averill Reese, Caleb Downs, like these are top 10, potentially top 5 picks, and their defense is swarming. And not to mention, for some reason I don't like Julian Sain, but he's balling out. And
it's like when you got Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith on both sides, and then of course their running back is named Bo Jackson, right? Like it's just of course their running back is named Bo Jackson. Yeah, it's
just hard to. Matt Patricia, his schemes on defense, he's doing an incredible job. And Ryan Day, I hate him, but I gotta give it to him. He's coaching a great team right now.
It'll be interesting though. They did just lose their offense coordinator, Brian Hartline, who's there. He's going to stay, and that has obviously been a big story. I know we're not going to talk about it too much, but Chris Henry, a 5-star receiver, is now pondering if he wants to go to Ohio State, mainly because of that move of Brian Hartline. He's going to USF now, I believe, to go head coach. But I want to stay in this college football realm because, look, the college football playoffs are one big story, but I think the biggest story from Thanksgiving break, it wasn't your mom's apple pie. It wasn't my apple pie, in fact.
It was my grandma's stuffing. It was not my grandma's stuffing.
I heard it from Josh himself, so I got to try the stuffing.
Got to try one day.
But it was Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin made the decision, and there were rumors for the past few weeks of him potentially departing. And he finally put the nail in the coffin, and he left for LSU after Ole Miss, who is right now currently number 6 in the college football playoffs bracket. They would be hosting a playoff game in about 3 weeks. He signed a 7-year, $91 million contract with LSU, $13 million a year. Josh, I know you got a lot to say.
Lane Kiffin, Jude. Lane Kiffin. The only words I have for him are clown and buffoon. I mean, I just think, here's the thing. First things first, the NCAA schedule is completely messed up. Should be zero reason why the transfer portal opens and signing day are before the end of the season. Why are they happening before the college football playoff happens? That's equivalent. I know it's not exactly the same, but that's equivalent as the NFL free agency starting right before the playoffs. That makes zero sense because yes, in Lane Kiffin's defense, if you want to say he was going out there to take the better opportunity. Obviously, LSU is a bigger program than Ole Miss, even though Ole Miss is having a much better year than LSU. Yeah. And he said there was no money involved. I gotta believe that he took a bag.
Bro, if LSU. I saw 7 years, $91 million, I'd say I'm going on that private jet.
If you want to take a deal that improves your career and you really think it's best for you, fine. But then don't play the victim card.
Don't play the victim. And I want to add to I want to add some context.
Yeah.
So Lane Kiffin came out with a statement on, I think he posted it on Twitter, and I'll read it real quick because I think this is important context. It is important context. So he posted this, I believe. Let's see the date. I'm trying to find the exact date. So November 30th. So I think this was the day he left or the day after. He said, after a lot of prayer and time spent with family, I made the difficult decision to accept the head coaching position at LSU. I was hoping to complete a historic 6-season run with this year's team by leading Ole Miss through playoffs, capitalizing on the team's incredible success and their commitment to finish strong, and investing everything into a playoff run with guardrails in place to protect the program in any areas of concern. My request to do so was denied by Keith Carter, their athletic director, despite the team also asking him to allow me to keep coaching. So they could maintain their high level of performance. Unfortunately, that means Friday's Egg Bowl was my last game coaching the Rebels. While I'm also looking forward to a new chapter with the unique opportunity at LSU. I will forever cherish whatever. But the important thing right there, and I think you're about to get to this, was he said my request to keep coaching was denied by Keith Carter, despite the team asking me to stay. And there were several Ole Miss players that went directly to Twitter. One of them, Bryson Sanders, their offensive lineman, said, I think everyone that was in the room would disagree. Paris Wilkins then retweeted that, said, facts, this was not said from anyone. And then their star linebacker, Sertain Perkins, said, that was not the message you said in the meeting room. Everybody that was in there can vouch on this.
Yeah, that does not surprise me at all that he probably lied to his players. He had this whole team meeting. He dragged this on for so long.
They also delayed the team
This
meeting.
Easily, if you wanted to, even though, yes, you have to sign the contract before like the season ends because he wanted to secure the spot with LSU, he easily didn't have to make this a whole media thing where he gets reporters involved. He's going to go pray. He's going to do... There is no way on God's green earth that Keith Carter was going to let him coach for the rest of the year. And I don't blame him. That's the equivalent of a man leaving his wife and kids for another... For a family that his wife and kids hate, and then asking, "Oh, can I stay for the holidays?" Absolutely not.
Get me on the Christmas card.
Absolutely not. Like you can't jump ship and then play the victim card. Like I wanted to stay with this team. Also, I was watching a video of him saying all the students were booing him, and he was happy they were booing because it showed that what they did there, he was successful. Like garbage, absolute garbage. I mean, if you're gonna make that decision and sell your team out after building the program, I don't know why you would leave after building up your program. Don't then play both sides and say and try to get the sympathy from the national media. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And this is not the first time we've seen Lane Kiffin jump ship. No. We saw him do it at Tennessee to go to USC, and I don't know. It leaves a bad feeling in my mouth.
I think what you brought up first is the most important thing. And actually, I saw an interview clip with the Texas Tech head coach. I'm blanking on his name, but he mentioned something about a very similar thing. They need to get rid of week 0 or whatever that is. I mean, whatever week 0 is, because there should, in no world, there should be where the transfer portal opens before the national championship is played.
It makes no
sense. Because then you wouldn't have this issue, right? Like, I mean, sure, it would be a quick turnaround, and you'd be like, oh, we're in the national championship, and I'm taking a new head coaching job. But at least like Ole Miss, potentially they get eliminated in the first round. Then he could be like, okay, I'm taking the job. But it's like you're in the middle. By the way, they had never made the college football playoffs in Lane Kiffin's tenure. This was the first time they made it. And you're instantly going to jump ship. And I thought Joel Klatt brought up the best point. He said, if you want a recruiting visit in the future and you're an SEC coach and you're saying, oh, you're choosing between Ole Miss, or sorry, you're choosing between LSU, or you're choosing between me and my university, whatever it may be, Vanderbilt, why would you go to that guy that couldn't even stay committed to his team in the most important moments?
Exactly.
I mean, that is the biggest message right there. And to be honest, like you mentioned, it's the same thing with Lane Kiffin every year. Or not every year, but every coaching destination. Tennessee, he saw USC. And to be fair, he had connections to USC. But still, you were there for a year. You told the fans you were going to be there for some time. You told them you were going to win national championships. And then you're like, nah, I'm actually going to go back to Southern California.
There's just a right and a wrong way to do it. We saw Brian Kelly do the same exact thing when he left Notre Dame to go to LSU. You can easily do it. Well, to your point, they need to switch the scheduling, but you can easily do it under wraps after the season's over.
Exactly.
And don't make a promise to your players and the fans and then completely jump ship. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, three recruits have already flipped from Ole Miss to LSU. Because also another thing, no way Keith Carter is going to let you poach all of the guys. You're poaching coaching staff, you're poaching recruits, and then you want to stay and coach for a national championship. You don't have the right.
No, you
don't. Absolutely don't have the right. And what's so funny is that there's actually a kid that was committed to LSU that's since flipped to Ole Miss.
Are you serious?
Since I forgot his name, but he flipped to Ole Miss after hearing about the Lane Kiffin news.
Well, so it'll be their defensive coordinator Pete Golden taking over. I guess he's now going to be the new permanent head coach. It's his first head coaching gig. He joined the staff in 2023. But it was actually fine because I saw that the offensive coordinator for Ole Miss, Charlie Weiss, had originally decided to go with Kiffin, and that was another thing I had. And I get it. Kiffin was trying to develop his staff immediately. But to give them an ultimatum in 24 hours and be like, oh, you either leave with me or you're not going to ever get a job with me again. Bro, who do you think you are, God?
It's ridiculous.
I'm sorry, but here's my other thing. Like Lane Kiffin, and I know he's one of the highest paid coaches, and honestly, he's in the same boat with Lincoln Riley. They are offensive gurus. When you look at Ole Miss, when you look at USC, they put up points. There's no question about it. What has Lane Kiffin done to really earn this honor of like, oh, you guys better pay attention to me? Look, you get it. Okay, you're number 6 in the country. Cool. You always have these top 10 teams. You haven't won anything. Actually, you haven't even got close to winning anything. And in fact, you were 3-2 in bowl games during your time in Ole Miss.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're even winning bowl games.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he's 5-4 in total bowl games as a head
career.
coach. And being the OC at Alabama doesn't in winning there doesn't. You're offensive coordinator. Like, you're not the head coach. That doesn't give you a right to walk on water. Speaking of which, I think he really just wants that Alabama job in the end. I think he coached there for a while under Saban, and he's just trying to get every little stepping stone to get to that Bama job, and will step on whoever's fingers he needs to. But
that's a good take. I wouldn't be shocked.
Lane,
in 5 years.
you should be doing some more praying.
Yeah. Well, the last part is it's just gonna be funny now. He's coaching his daughter's boyfriend.
Yes.
So that'll be
all part of the story.
It's all part of the story. But I think to continue on this kind of, we're heading close to New Year's, but me and Josh have already started our resolutions and our sports resolutions as we are here in week 10 on the Talk of Troy. Josh, I'm gonna let you go first because actually both of us got to actually attend some games. So
live action puck for both me and Jude during the Thanksgiving break. I went to a Rangers Blues game with my sister. She had some tickets through work, and she asked me, and I said I'd love to go. The Rangers won 3-2. My buddy actually lended me a Trocheck jersey that I wore to the game, and he scored the first goal. So we were like, I might have to get a jersey. But Rangers won 3-2. Igor again making some incredible saves. It was super cool sitting there with my sister who doesn't know hockey, and in the 2 months that we've been doing this, to learn the rules and the players and be able to explain it to her, a completely new sport that I didn't really know anything about. I thought that's the whole point of why we're doing this resolution. So I thought that was pretty cool. Rangers last night picked up an electric 3-2 overtime win against the Dallas Stars, who are the second best team in the league. So big win there. Garvikov had the game winner. So I think the Rangers they're right now 7th in the Metropolitan, but it's a little deceiving because they have 30 points and the Hurricanes have 34 points, and they're in the first spot in the Metropolitan. So I think it's a really packed division. Yeah. We're also 1 point back of the wild card in the Eastern Conference. So I think there's a lot to be excited about this Rangers team. They just, again, can't find the consistency, but a lot of big wins against really good teams that hopefully will help the trajectory going forward. What about you, Jude? How was the Kings game?
Well, I got to go see it live, and I will say I had 2 friends that were actually Capital fans, so it was cool to go see the Kings versus Capitals. And we talked about Alex Ovechkin already. What a goat, man! Like, honestly, like, to see him live, it's like, seeing LeBron James play live probably was like seeing Jordan play live. Like, that type of, and I hate to use that word, but like aura, like the aura off him, like just him, skating around the ice. It was just such a fun experience because you've been to a few already. Yeah, I honestly hadn't been to a hockey game in. It honestly had to be a decade. Like, I had not seen a hockey game live, and it was nice to now be like, oh, like Andre Kempe, like I know who that is. That guy, these all these different players. But unfortunately, they lost. They lost 3-1 to the Capitals. Ovechkin got 2 assists. Overall, the Kings, they're 12-7-7, third in the Pacific Division. And I'll tell you, this Pacific Division is tough. Like they're only 2 points behind the number 1 Ducks, and then they're also like I think 2 points ahead of like the 5th seed in the Pacific Division. So it's gonna be a tight race all in all. I did not do as much this Thanksgiving. I was spending time with family, I will say. But I will say, just going to a Kings Caps game, it's awesome. It felt unreal.
Live hockey is so much fun to watch.
And I will say this, since I'm 21, I'm legal to say this. They do a great promotion. You buy a ticket, you get a $1 beer at the bar across the street. So it's awesome. No, it was a great promotion. We went after it. It was Tom's Sports Bar. I really had seen it all with Tom's Sports Bar. I'm not even kidding when I say any direction I looked, there might have been 10 different screens.
Oh yeah, they got a lot of screens.
They got a whole
great for March Madness, great for any college football Saturday, but great for any NFL slate. Which speaking of which, Survivor pick. Me and Jude are both 7-1. Yep. Heading into this week, who are you taking?
Well, Josh, you said you were going to take him last week, and I'm actually not glad that you didn't text me that.
We did take a week off.
We did take a week off, but I am taking the Los Angeles Rams because, 1, they're going to bounce back, and then 2, they're playing the Arizona Cardinals, who have pretty much not won a game, I believe, since, I want to say October. It's been a while since the Cardinals have won a game. It's been a tough one there. But yeah, they're going to bounce back. I know they're on the road, but the Rams, they're in all force right now. Matthew Stafford, he had a bad game. That was the one bad game. And I'll say this. I think the Rams needed a little bit of that reality check. Not because I think they were maybe getting too high on themselves, but when you're having that much success,
the media
you need to kind of need to go back to earth a little. You need to get back to reality and be like, okay, this is still football. Like, right, we're not the best team in the world. Like, we need to get back to the basics. Yeah. And I think that's what they're going to do. Yeah. Puka Nacua, even though they lost, made an insane grab against unreal grab. So yeah, Rams hopefully moving to 8-1.
Yeah, I like that pick.
Josh, who you got?
I think I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They are playing at home against the New Orleans Saints, who are just not a good football team at all. Tyler Show, it's it's been a good run. Hopefully, I think the Saints are going to draft a quarterback next year. He's no good, and the Buccaneers, obviously they started to lose a couple games. They won last week against a Cardinals team who's not great, but Baker Mayfield's getting a little healthy. Bucky Irving just came back. He got in the end zone. Chris Godwin started to pick it up, had 78 yards last week. So I think the Bucs are going to take care of business at home, move me to 8-1, and hopefully no upsets this week, because that high dive.
High dive every week.
gets taller and taller.
I was actually just at Line today, and I was looking at it just outside, and I was like, hopefully that's Josh's future right there.
Oh, boy. It's a long way down.
But before we go, we got to talk a little bit USC football, because they did land the #1 recruiting class in 2026 via 24/7 Sports. It was signing day today, and the first time, Josh, in 18 years, a non-SEC school has reached that mark, and USC is #1, and Oregon's actually #2 in the recruiting classes. But my quick takeaway, I mean, I could go through every single player. I love that Lincoln Riley and Chad Bowen, the general manager, have made and emphasized California recruits. 57% of their signees, I should say, are from the state of California. That has not been the case in past. And when you look at those Pete Carroll teams, a lot of those players, I mean, to be honest, when I say 57%, we're talking northern to southern California. So this is abroad, the whole entire state. But in general, that is a lot better than, why were we recruiting in Georgia so heavily in these first few years with Lincoln Riley? Why don't we get the people that are in our backyard? And they're finally doing that. USC is finally understanding that. And hopefully this kind of can be a pattern going on, because we need to start winning some football games when they matter.
Yeah, I agree, Jude. I think the homegrown talent we see modern day is a powerhouse in high school football. So be able to get some of those guys. Something that stood out to me is finally Lincoln Riley is going and getting guys in the trenches. We've seen that as an issue all year, our run defense. So to go out and get 4-star D-tackle, Jamian Winfield Richardson, also O-tackle, Keeney Pepe, who's I think the only 5-star. We might technically have
he is
two.
the only 5. It's interesting, I will say, even guys like Mark Bowman, he was a 5-star on 24/7. He's a 4-star. With the whole stars, whatever, if you're talented, you're talented. You'll ball on a Saturday.
Yeah, I think Bowman was like 22 in the country ranked, and he's a 4-star. So I don't know. The issue is we have 19 4-stars. Yeah. So a lot of talent coming into USC.
And I just love the name Booby Fester.
Oh, he's gonna be great. He's gonna be great. We'll see what happens with Chris Henry. It's a long shot.
Yeah, I'd say at this point it's a long shot.
Ohio State and Oregon,
that's what it sounded like.
Still, going into the trenches, we saw Oregon run all over us. We saw Notre Dame, Illinois run all over us. So getting the guys in the trenches is what Lincoln Riley has always struggled with. So hopefully that will be a big thing going forward. Do you know what today is, Jude?
What is today?
We touched on it a little bit earlier. Yeah. Everyone got their Spotify and Apple Music Wrapped.
You're Apple?
No, I'm Spotify. Just want to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely Spotify over Apple Music.
Yeah, they are. I will say I've heard some recent bad things about the management side of Spotify.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep listening.
Yeah, I honestly I don't remember. I have to read an article before I completely say the wrong thing. But I will say I did hear. I know this is completely going on a tangent. You can actually now, and this is brand new. If you want to go from Spotify to Apple Music now, supposedly there's just like one button you press and all your playlists get automatically moved to Apple Music.
Wow.
You don't even have to I was with my cousins this break, and they're like, one of my cousins is like really into the music scene, and she was just like, yeah, you can pretty much press a button, and because she's someone that's super and she had like 5,000 playlists or whatever it may be, press a button, boom.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. I should tell my sister that, because my sister and I, wherever she is, Jordan Sacker, I love her. We share a Spotify. She is very kind. I mooch off her a little bit. So we share a Spotify, and I love her, but my Spotify Wrapped is a little...
Yeah, I'm seeing some names here.
Is a little messed up from what I typically listen to.
I like the Mountjoy.
Mountjoy is great. So my number 1 is Taylor Swift. And
he is Swiftie.
And don't get me wrong, I respect Taylor Swift a ton. I don't really listen to Taylor Swift.
Just be real. What's your favorite song?
So Jordan,
be real. What's your favorite song, Josh? We know you got a favorite
Taylor Swift song? Yeah.
You got one. If it's turned on in the car, you're singing it.
Maybe 22.
Damn. Maybe I'm a secret.
Maybe you're
I got Paper Rings. That's what I'm saying. Paper Rings.
You're deep in the bag. Yeah. So Jordan kind of. I mean, there's a lot of other names on here. Sam Barber, up and coming country artist. We both listened to Morgan Wallen, Drake. I kind of gave a little bit more of the Drake to the list. She gave Taylor Swift. So it's a little bit skewed, but I mean, it's always fun at the end of the year to see what kind of music you're listening to. Jude, what did you have?
Yeah. So I guess I had like a big house music phase, because there was like 4 out of the 5 songs were house music.
Wow. Which
I wasn't complaining with. I do feel like when I was abroad, I was listening to a good chunk of house music. honestly, like it doesn't shock me, but and I hate to say this, but like Kanye West is like one of my top artists every year. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I haven't even listened to Kanye West.
Gotta separate the art from the artist.
Yeah, I gotta separate the art from the artist. But my age, this was actually what I found most interesting. My age was 74 years old. For like, you know how the age.
I was 30.
30?
Yours was 74?
I got a wise mind.
Oh, man.
That's what they say. I got a wise mind. No, I think it's because...
Old man trapped in a young man's body.
I will say, this summer I very much got into like 60s blues.
Ooh.
So I started listening to that a lot. And it was actually after I saw the movie Sinners, I was like, man, I love this music. I want to listen to it more. So I think that played a very big role. And then also I listened to a good chunk of jazz. So
there we go.
You know, I'm different.
Speaking of jazz and the blues, you're kind of moving away from the blues with your Dallas Cowboys.
Wow. What? Where's this hat coming from?
Dude, I wish I was Stephen A. Smith and had a cigar in my mouth right now. But your Dallas Cowboys are now 6-5-1.
Was this planned?
I just brought it as a little prop. last Wednesday show of the year.
Had to.
6-5-1.
Yeah.
They play the Detroit Lions tomorrow night on Thursday Night Football. Who's winning and how confident are you?
This is the biggest game in the Cowboys. And to be honest, the Cowboys need help to make the playoffs. So this isn't like they're going to need a lot more than just winning out. But this is the biggest game because this is truly an 11-day stretch of if you can beat the Eagles, you can beat the Chiefs. And now if you can beat the Detroit Lions. And I understand there are a lot of injuries on the Detroit Lions offensively, defensively. Amon-Ra probably is not going to play. Terron Arnold is out. They got some issues on the offensive line. The Cowboys are going to win this game. First of all, we got the best offense in the NFL right now. I'm not even trying to be I'm really not trying to be biased. When I see CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens line up on either side of each other, and I'm not even trying to glaze right here, Dak Prescott, you got to look at it from when I saw this guy come in 2016, he was not a passer. What he's doing pre-snap now,
unbelievable.
I have to say it is unbelievable because what he's doing pre-snap now, Steve Spagnuolo is one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL for the Kansas City Chiefs, and he was reading that defense on pre-snap, changing things. And that was impressive. And I will take that. And then, Josh, thank you. Thank you for Quinnen Williams. Oh, thank you for Quinnen Williams. He has absolutely changed this defense. I'm talking, we have one of the best run defenses in the past 3 weeks statistically. And everyone's feeding off him. He's come in this locker room in 3 weeks. He's already made himself a leader, and that's what I love to see.
Did you see the clip of him on the sideline asking about the Brandon Aubrey field goal rate? He's like, oh, your guy can... He hits it from 64? I'm not used to that.
Oh, he got X Factor.
No, but dude, I think I'm going to agree with you. I think I'm going to take the Cowboys tomorrow night. Huge. That's why I got the hat on. I just think they're rolling right now. They had two, like you said, huge wins against the Eagles, the Chiefs. The offense is looking scary. The defense is clicking. Lions missing some pieces, and they're kind of faltering a bit. They've lost some games and have been in some close games with some not great teams. Cowboys, I think, are going to pull it out tomorrow night.
And for the sake of my fantasy team, I need Javonte Williams to score 2 touchdowns.
Sure.
Just need him. And George Pickens actually not having a good day.
Sprinkle a little bit on it. No, just kidding. If I was a betting man, which I'm not, but
that was a betting
folks, it has been an incredible A Block, the last Wednesday for J Squared. We will see you on Friday.
Yeah. We got a special guest.
We have a special guest coming, but signing off. I'm Joshua Sacker.
I'm Jude Ocanas.
Thank you, Jude and Josh. What an A block. We're here for the B block now on Talk of Troy. I'm Jake Mano.
And I'm Shaun Spall.
And there's a lot going on here in sports. We have a lot to talk about. A lot of college football coming up. Not many leagues are still active. Obviously, the NFL is really not as exciting as we would hope. But the NBA, there's a lot of big news. You want to start us off?
Yeah, and if we're looking at the NBA and you open those NBA standings, there's one thing that stands out to you, and it is that top of the Western Conference with the Oklahoma City Thunder at 21-1. 21-1, and I'm sitting here looking at this, and I can only think one thing, and I'm here to ask you, can they break the record?
It's possible. Hey, I don't think there's a single person will tell you, no, there's no way they do it. Because this team has looked pretty much as good as any team we've seen in NBA history. And just the way they constructed their roster is so interesting. They have their star guard, and around him they just have defensive pieces who just make it so difficult on the other team's offense that even if you're going to get a bucket, that was probably the most tired point you've ever scored. So now you have the energy advantage. You probably do have the scoring advantage because you have Shea alone, but on top of Chet, on top of J-Dub, who hasn't even been playing for most of the season.
He just got back.
This team is so well constructed, and it's pretty much you pay your core. So J-Dub, Chet, Shea, they're all going to get paid. They're going to stay a Thunder. And then you just have so many picks that these bottom of the lineup guys who are still getting minutes, like Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, Mitchell, all these guys are just going to get replaced with first-round picks.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so scary about this team is how deep they are. You're looking at their top scorers. You have guys like Alex Caruso, Lou Dort, Cason Wallace are all under 10 points per game, while they have 6 other players outside of SGA and Chet that are averaging between 11 and 18 points per game. The amount of players they have on their roster that can come out, consistently get points, and then like you said, it's just built so perfectly. It is the one perfect scorer. You have Shea, as good of a scorer as there is in basketball, still averaging 33 points per game. You have the two bigs in Chet and Hartenstein, so you can't score in the middle. You can't expect to go down the lane and get a layup when you have 2 7-footers. And then you have all these guys that are 3-and-D, just specialists, and they're great shooters, and they're unbelievably defensively. And if other teams can't score on the Thunder and they have SGA, this team really is going to be impossible to beat. I don't know how a team's going to really match up with them in a 7-game series.
Well, that's the problem. You can't beat them defensively because they have the reigning MVP and potential back-to-back MVP, and honestly, it's very difficult to beat them offensively. This team is so well built. And I want to point out one thing. If you are in Oklahoma City, if you are a fan of this team, if you have bought a single ticket to a home game this season to watch your favorite team play, you have yet to see them lose a game.
Yeah.
They are ridiculous at home. They have lost one game to the Portland Trail Blazers, which is a really just bad loss. It was off night
it was like
for them.
2 points on the road.
Yeah.
Still.
So they have, and honestly, the one thing I think is crazy is if they were 22-0 rather than 21-1, we'd be having such a different conversation. But either way, this team is going to be one of the scariest to see at any point in the regular season, and you do not want to see them in the playoffs.
And 73-9 is the record, right? So they have 9 losses. They have 8 more losses to tie it, and it's a long season. There's a lot that could happen, especially with injuries. And I know J-Dub was out, but you never know what's going to happen. But if you had to make your prediction right now, you had to put money on it, you had to bet, do you think they do it?
I'm going to say no, and I think
it's hard. It's so hard.
I think there's so much more. Like we saw it with the Trailblazers. Any team could beat you on any given night, and I think there's so much more talent in the NBA today that I think just it takes 8 teams to have a crazy shooting night where it could take, I don't know, a player like Giannis can score 40.
Right, you play Jokic, he goes for a 40-point triple-double. There's not much you could do.
But at this point in the NBA, you play a guy like the Charlotte Hornets, who are not a good team. LaMelo can drop 30, Miller can drop 25, and there you go. That's 55 points that you're going to have to make up somehow. It is not an easy task to lose 9 games, or to only lose 9 games. So I don't think that they are going to do it, but I would love to see a world where they do.
I kind of think they might. I kind of think they're going to give it a push, and I think especially the fact that this team is still so young, and it's not veteran guys that have been doing this for years. They won last year, but still, before that, they had almost no playoff experience. I think they're going to want it. You know, they're going to play for it, and it's like the same thing Steve Kerr talked about with those Warriors is that it was an effort. They decided that we want to go for it. Like, we're going for it, we're going to go for it, and we're going to play guys, and we're going to push through. And I think if they get close, you know, if we're towards those last 20 games of the season and they're still in line, they still have a chance, I could see them really pushing for it and putting in real effort to make sure that they can try and break it and try and be that team. And, you know, when you're looking at this type of record, the first thing you think of is, well, who's going to get hurt, right? If someone gets hurt, how they're going to be screwed? How are they going to fight that? But with this type of depth, other than SGA, I think they can lose basically anyone else and still be able to win. We saw him take out Jalen Williams for the first 17 games of the season, and they went 17-1.
That's what happens when you have a team of this caliber.
They're so talented.
They have so many picks. They have so many guys who are willing to play a role, and that is so big. I honestly think there's only one player on this team who is an injury-prone play style, and that is, of course, Chet.
Yeah, Chet.
I think I think Shea could have the longevity that we've seen from some of these guys. He has the play style that he is going to be
He's
good
not relying on athleticism at all.
Not at all, which is exactly kind of like Giannis only has a few more years left, I think.
Right.
I think some of these guys who are just relying on pure athleticism, like I think Ant is not going to have as long of a career as some of these other guys. It is so hard to play until you are about 40, but I think Shea has the play style where he genuinely can.
Yeah, he could definitely make it last long. And the thing about this Thunder team is that the picks aren't over.
No,
we're in the middle of this, years of ridiculous amount of picks they have. They're gonna have 2 top 10 picks next year.
I was actually I was talking about this. They have the potential. I think in the best case scenario, I think they have the number 1, the number 5, and the number 9 pick in like the best case scenario.
It's ridiculous.
Because I think they have 1 fully unprotected, 1 top 4 protected, 1 top 8 protected. It's a ridiculous.
They're just set up for the future. It is not going away.
But regardless, we know the Thunder were going to be great. We knew what we were coming into, but there's 29 more teams that are still playing very good basketball, some obviously better than others. So what have you seen from the rest of the league? What are some of your predictions? Obviously, your Lakers are sitting at second, but what else have you seen?
I mean, I think we have to start with the Lakers. Okay. And there was a lot of worry coming into the year and a lot of personal worry. I was not super confident with this Lakers team. And, the big thing for me was DeAndre Ayton. And it was at center position. We saw it as the issue throughout the entire playoffs last year. We're getting dominated by Rudy Gobert. We lost the series because of Rudy Gobert. And that's just unacceptable. And we knew that was going to have to be dealt with. And the answer was Ayton. And there's a lot of question marks there. He had the talent. We saw what he was with the prospect. But he's been good. He's been really good. And I don't know if he's fully the defensive answer. But offensively, the guy's averaging 16 points per game. He's getting 8.5 rebounds per game. He's doing what we needed him to do. He's getting rebounds. He's just being a 7-footer that is competent at the game of basketball. And it's changing this Lakers team. It is huge.
He looks like he's played a little bit before.
Yeah.
Which is honestly all you need to do.
It's all we needed.
When you have a guy like Luka Doncic, you're never going to be out of a game. You're never not going to get at least pretty much 50 points of offense created.
Yeah, Luka Doncic might be the best offensive player. Is probably the best offensive player in the league and one of the best I've ever seen. It's absurd.
He's absolutely ridiculous. And I do think that the West is not as loaded as people kind of thought it was. It is a very, very good conference. Do not get it twisted. But I think the Rockets, I don't think they're going to be as amazing as people say. I think they have a tall, fun lineup, but I don't think it's going to get them very far. I think Victor Wembanyama has to start taking more shots.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
they need to fully unleash him and just say, go take your shots, your shots, play the minutes, just go all in.
This has to be like a Nikola Jokic kind of offense, where the center is going to run your offense, and Victor Wembanyama can do it, but he is just phenomenal. I don't think they're feeding him enough. Minnesota Timberwolves, you guys have a lot of teams that were dominated by one superstar.
Yeah, there's a lot of great players, but a lot of those teams don't have the full roster.
I think it's a very interesting conference because I don't see the Grizzlies. I don't see the Trailblazers being great. The Warriors
are interesting.
They had a very hot start to the year, And I'm glad that died down because I don't think that they were they were never the number 4 team in the power rankings.
No.
Which were the first 2 weeks of the season. But God, I love Curry, and I love that they're.
And this Warrior, I feel like the Steph with Steve Kerr, that team always kind of sticks around, and you never know as long as they can make the playoffs. That's a scary team to play in a 7-game series.
I was about to say, I think they are like a little bit of a worse Chiefs when it comes to basketball. They are not doing as well as anyone expected, but if they can sneak their way into the playoffs, Steph Curry is still not a guy I want to see.
Steph Curry is never a guy you want to see. And listen, they're not the best team. They're not built fully. They don't have a great roster, but we've seen Jimmy Butler do those types of things in a playoff series too. He's a guy that we've seen take over and carry playoff series, and pairing both of them, if you get them at the right night, you get them at the right week, they're hot. It's a scary team to play.
I was talking to a lot of people about this. Do we think it is close to be, or do we think it already is Jimmy Butler's team?
No, absolutely.
Because I heard a lot of people talking.
I think that is outrageous. This is Steph Curry. I mean, this is the best point guard the NBA has ever seen. The best shooter the NBA has ever seen. As long as Steph Curry is playing
alive and
is not retired, he will be the guy for the Warriors. He's done too much for his organization to try and give the ball to anyone else.
I agree. I think Steph Curry is at the ripe age of 38 or however old he is still going to be dropping at least...
averaging 28 points per game.
Wow. I mean, I love the guy. I think he's such a likable player. I think it's so hard to hate a guy who just has done so much for the community, done so much for the city, and he is just genuinely... he is not beating anyone based off athleticism. He picked a skill, he mastered it, and has become the best in the world at it, and the best ever at it. And I think that is such a respectable thing.
He changed the game. He fully changed the game. He changed the culture. He changed how people play the game of basketball. Before Steph, if it wasn't for Steph and his proficiency shooting the basketball,
it's probably why we have instrumental teams like Jude shooting the ball for 40
just chucking it constantly.
So let's move on a little bit to the East, because I think it's a lot closer of a conference and a lot more fun.
A lot more. I think it's going to be very competitive. There's no top obvious team.
I want to go down a little bit. Let's talk a little bit pretender, contender. Who are we kind of thinking? First of all, we got the Detroit Pistons. Let's just go for it.
They're contenders.
Wow.
I think they're absolutely contenders. I love Cade. I think what we saw from him last year in the playoffs was that he has the ability to be the one on a contender team. And he proved that. I mean, and he's doing it again this year. And then the rest of the team is young. There's a lot that they have to develop. They have to get better. I mean, like Jalen Durant, Asar Thompson, these guys need to develop. They definitely need more time, but I think Cade is good enough, and I don't think they're the favorite, but when you're looking at this East, when you're looking at their competition, I think they are good enough to beat any team in the East and to make the NBA Finals.
I agree. I don't see a world where they win the NBA Finals just because I do think they are young.
I don't think they can beat a lot of teams in the West.
I think they're a very good team. The Raptors, I'll start us off, they're very much pretenders.
Yeah,
I think when it comes to the playoffs, when it comes to that kind of summer months, you need a star player, as much as I hate to say it. And Brandon Ingram is not going to be a guy who's going to bring you to an NBA championship.
No, you need a name. And if they were able to acquire someone, if there is a big name like Giannis Antetokounmpo or something like that, and they're able to pull off that type of trade, I think they have everything there. Yeah. I think they're just missing that one guy. They're missing the Kawhi they had in 2019. Other than that, this roster is ready. I don't think they have enough.
I agree. Depending on what you say for this next one, we might not be friends anymore. The New York Knicks.
The Knicks are contenders. I mean, the Knicks are probably the favorite in the East if I'm looking at it right now, because we've seen them do it. I mean, everyone here has experience. The top four, when you just go down to Brunson, Cat, Mikal, and OG, that's a starting lineup that can win you an NBA Finals, absolutely. And
with Giannis potentially,
if they get Giannis, I mean, what would they have to trade? What would you give up? You have to give
if it's me on. We don't have many picks, which I'm okay with.
No picks.
I think
you
27?
Give up
I don't know that you can give up a Josh Hart, because I don't know that he will be valuable in this trade.
I don't know what value
I think you give
carries.
up Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, Cat's got to go. I feel like Cat is a guarantee in that type of trade.
Honestly, I think this is good for us, but I think with the emergence of Tyler Kolek, he could be a piece in this trade. I don't know. I don't think that gets it done, and I think you need one or two more pieces. But I think, I don't know, you give in a Tyler Kolek, or you give in maybe 2 firsts, a second or two, Cat and Deuce. That could get it done. But
yeah,
I'm really trying to look at the roster. I think Cat is the centerpiece of that trade. I think you have Landry Shamet, who very much willing to move on from. Tyler Kolek is a young guard who's looked phenomenal. Hipporti, great center who just doesn't get the minutes on this team. Are you willing to move away from any other of your core pieces?
Right. Are you willing to move away from OG, from Mikal?
Okay.
That's what they ask. Like,
this is a personal.
It's Giannis.
This is personal. I will be willing to give up Mikal over OG for the sole reason I love OG Anunoby. He is literally the heart and soul.
Yeah, what OG does defensively too.
And he is a very, very quietly good shooter.
Yeah, he is a really good shooter.
I think what Mikal is doing, especially this year, I love to see. I think if they're asking for 2 starters, I don't know that you can do it. Because the problem is I don't see them asking. I don't see them asking.
Brunson and Giannis.
Oh, that'd feed families.
Yeah.
I don't see them asking for 2 starters and not asking for like a Deuce. And I don't know that I can do that.
Yeah, I see that. And
because then you're giving.
It's hard to find the even deal.
Because my problem is, the one problem with the Knicks last year is they didn't have depth.
Right.
We now have all the depth in the world.
You're going to trade away depth for Giannis.
And now we get rid of all of it.
Because it doesn't really work. We've seen that the depth works.
Yeah.
But I think either way, whether this is a Giannis Knicks team or a no Giannis Knicks team, it's a contender. I think they're definitely contenders.
I think other than that, the only teams I could really see, the Cavs I think look good. The Magic I think are good. I don't see the Celtics if Tatum doesn't come back.
Yeah, no Tatum, the Celtics team is not a contender.
And honestly, I think the East is a lot more competitive, but I think it's a lot less deep.
Yeah, and I think the team you're really looking at is the Cavs that have been cold, but we saw them last year. They have the experience. D. Mitch is a superstar, and you have Mobley, you have Jared Allen. As long as Garland can be healthy, as long as everyone can be healthy coming down the stretch, I think that's a team that if you're the Knicks or whoever is at the top of the East, they're probably the one you're the most scared of because they just have the talent to really match up.
All right. So we're going to move on a little bit from basketball. Let's move over to college football, where recruiting is great here at SC.
Recruiting is unbelievable here at SC. They officially, now everyone signed, Mark Bowman signed, we're all good, have the #1 class in the country.
Yep.
And the future USC football might be looking bright. But I think there's one big question that people are asking. It's what do you do at quarterback? Mm-hmm. And so I want to hear what you think.
I think, Mayava, we love what you did here. We think you had a great season, and I hope you are playing on Sundays, but I think it's time to move on from him. I think he was phenomenal, and I genuinely will say there is not 4 quarterbacks in this upcoming draft class that I think is more NFL ready than Jada Mayava. However, you have a 5-star athletic, fast, incredible quarterback who's now sitting under Mayava, and if he stays another year, he's as good as gone in the transfer portal. And I don't know.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I get that. But my thing is if we saw the jump that Mayava took from year 1 under Lincoln to year 2 under Lincoln, and he went from, playing those last, 5 games, and he was turning the ball over, he was making stupid decisions, he wasn't really able to put up a proficient offense. You give him an offseason under Lincoln Riley, who develops quarterbacks better than any coach in the country, and he threw for 3,400 yards, 23 touchdowns. He had 8 interceptions, but the interceptions were a lot better. I think his decision-making was significantly improved, and my biggest piece is now we're going to have another year, let him develop more, let him get better. He's been under the pressure. He's played in big games, and not only has he played in big games, but he's been good in big games. He threw for 328 yards. I know he had 2 interceptions, but 2 touchdowns at Notre Dame. He threw for 364 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception at Illinois. He threw for 306 yards, 3 touchdowns at Oregon. He's played in big games. He's played on big road games. And now you bring him back, let him develop for another offseason under Lincoln Riley, and you give him this unbelievable class of young talent to then come back and play another year. I think if he wants to come back, you have to take that opportunity.
having a 2-year starting quarterback under the same system, under the same quarterback, coming back for his senior year in this culture of college football is almost unheard of. And I feel like wasting that just doesn't make sense.
I agree. I think if he wants to come back and he says, hey, I'm not going to the draft, I don't think you kick him out the door. Definitely not. But I don't see it not being a beneficial idea to try out a new quarterback, try out a new style of quarterback for the USC Trojans. We've had so many pocket passers in the past 5 years. I think it's going to be fun to have a true scrambler, true improviser at Longstreet. I think it'll be fun now that we have some great offensive linemen, because our starters this year were incredibly young too.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to have the receiving core that you had this year, so I don't know that a pocket passer is going to be really what you're wanting. And I don't see a world where Jada Mayava, as amazing as he is, can he take that next step and get you to a national championship? Because if he's coming back for his senior year, that's the expectation, is to become a high seed, a top 10 team, and at least compete for it.
I think he can. And that's where, whether or not you think that is going to decide what you think USC should do. And I think he has a talent. I think we saw his ability to make the plays in the right moment. He saw his ability to step up. And, nothing shows more than that Oregon game, than that Notre Dame game. I know they lost these games, but the roster will be better, right? That's the expectation, is that, sure, we're going to lose Mackay, we're going to potentially lose Jacoby, and we'll lose some defensive pieces, but the overall thought is the next year roster will be better than this year. And we were that close. I mean, we were a field goal against Illinois. We were a couple plays against Notre Dame. And the Oregon game wasn't quite as close, but still, there was a solid time in that game
where we thought
we had a game. It was one possession. It was tied. We had drives to take the lead, and
I'll be the first to say,
was there.
After that first drive, I really thought we did have a chance.
Oh my God. I was there sitting in the middle of the student section.
Yeah.
We call for the ball. I love it. I love the decision.
Oh, I agree.
Get the ball. We go straight down the field, 75 yards, touchdown. The place is silent. I'm screaming. It is the best thing ever. And then it all went downhill from there. But
I'm sure
that first drive was unbelievable.
Well, let's talk about it, because they have a gauntlet and a half
next year.
I mean, in terms of, let's just talk about a few of the conference games. At Indiana, at Penn State, home versus Ohio State, Oregon, and Washington. Plus the Notre Dame game, by the way, on the road. Or is that on the road or is that here?
Well, it's undecided. As of right now, it's unofficial. We're playing Notre Dame, and
whatever.
Where we're playing them is also unofficial, but who knows?
But anyway, that is 5 of, I would say, the top half of the Big Ten.
100%.
It is a gauntlet you're going to have to play. Because obviously Indiana will never be an easy game. You have the Penn State whiteout game.
Probably Penn State whiteout. They're their best home game.
It's going to be, because, I mean, who else do they got? They're playing Michigan away. They're playing Rutgers at home. They're playing Wisconsin, Purdue, Minnesota. That's
their whiteout. We're going to be their whiteout.
Honestly, I'll put a hot take now. I think Penn State can march back and make the playoffs next year, strictly based on how easy their schedule is.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to find a head coach first and probably some transfers and some recruits, because they're lacking a little bit on that department. But, I mean, the fact that an away game at Penn State that will probably be their whiteout is going to be your fourth or fifth hardest game, depending on what happens with Notre Dame, is tough. And, I mean, another reason an experienced quarterback might be nicer than putting in a redshirt freshman to go play at Indiana, go play at Penn State, go play Ohio State at home. I mean, it is a brutal schedule for USC next year.
It's going to be fun, though. But, in my opinion, obviously playing 5 of those games is very, very tough draw. But I do think if you're not able to pull out 2 of those good wins this season, you don't deserve to necessarily be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And we've seen, don't even get me started on the college football playoffs this year, because we've seen teams that have pulled out 0 of these wins, and they're sitting pretty over there in the SEC. But
yeah, I mean, I think we might need to talk about that.
Well, let's look up the college football playoff bracket, because I don't have it off the top of my head. I know most of it, but let's kind of go over it, because you're gonna have a Notre Dame team who lost to the team sitting behind them, which
this makes absolutely no sense to me.
Because if you are
no sense.
then why do they play games?
Why do you play teams and care about who wins if then we get to this point and Miami beat Notre Dame? Like, I what about the college football playoff committee not understand that Miami played Notre Dame and won?
Yeah.
How could they be ranked below them when it comes to a playoff seeding?
One of my least favorite things is I hate the idea that if a team is 10-2 and their losses in week 1, they are somehow, even if that loss is a better or a worse loss, they are somehow a better team than a 10-2 team that lost in week 12. I think the recency bias is kind of ridiculous to a point. Especially, I think there's so many tiebreakers in college football. The SEC, I had to look up all the tiebreakers to realize how the conference championship game worked. But if you play a game on the field, if these teams are 11-12 or 12-13 or 13-14, we should know who that team above is going to be.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it's hard because if I was a committee, I do think Notre Dame's a really good team.
Yeah.
And I think if you were to ask me who in this bracket, in what we're seeing right now, would be my dark horse to make that run as a lower seed and make the national championship, it would be Notre Dame.
Okay.
It honestly would, and I hate saying that as a USC fan, but when you're the committee and you're looking at those games, it is unfair, straight up unfair to Miami to not put them in the playoffs when you're putting a team that they beat over them with the same record. It's not like that's the only loss for Notre Dame and Miami has 6 losses. They have the same record and Miami won straight up, and it sets the wrong precedent for the next years to not give Miami the in over Notre Dame.
I'll talk about this. There's 2 things I want to talk about. Do you think that scheduling is going to have a change now with all the Texas controversy? Because if you don't know what I'm talking about, they played Ohio State week 1.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, and I also agree, there's a lot of people saying, say they played Western Mississippi or Central Michigan, a 10-2 Texas team with a lot of good wins gets you in.
I mean, it's the same thing with USC. Yeah. And a 10-2 USC team without the Notre Dame game
gets you in.
Maybe gets you in. There'd be some debate with us not having very many good wins, but it's the same thing. If the committee is going off of win-loss record and saying, well, you have 2 losses, you're going to get in, there's no reason to schedule a difficult out-of-conference game at all. You should schedule 3 FCS or Group of 5 teams, go wipe the floor with them, play your conference games, you lose 2, you're in. It kind of sucks because, going into week 1, seeing an Ohio State-Texas game was the best thing ever. For every college football fan in the world, they were so excited because that is such a awesome game to get to see week 1. And it's something that, I was talking to my friends, we're getting to watch in college basketball right now. They do the ACC, SEC tournament. You have these unbelievable basketball games. You saw Florida play at Duke. Yeah. And if we could see that more often in football, it'd be so entertaining. If week 1, instead of everyone playing a bunch of FCS schools, we saw USC play Bama like they did, in 2015 or whatever it was. We see Ohio State, Texas. It would be a lot more entertaining, but the committee just doesn't reward you for it. So there's no real reason to do it.
I'm not saying that that should happen. I see the value in scheduling good games, but I think now there has to be a real kind of whoa, they had some really great wins. There has to be a reward now.
Yeah, there has to be.
I will say this. I was looking at this. I was talking about this with my brother and a few more people. Do you think, do conference championships truly matter, or should you get punished for a conference championship? Because Alabama, they're sitting at number 9. Say they lose to Georgia, does that kick them out of the playoffs for a conference championship for an extra game?
It's really tough. And I want to say no.
Yeah.
I want to say no because I want to say that they got there. They made their conference championship, and a team that got a bye week because they weren't good enough to make their conference championship shouldn't be rewarded over Alabama. But I think it's very dependent on the situation. If this is a 31-28 point Georgia win where Georgia made a field goal to win it in the last second, Alabama shouldn't be punished at all. If Georgia walks in and beats them by 3 touchdowns, I think then you should be punished a little. Then you're kind of saying, okay, maybe this team isn't as good as we thought. So I think it's based on the situation, based on what kind of happens. But overall, I think it shouldn't really affect your ranking that much.
I think that's fine, but then I think it has to go both ways. I don't think you should be able, because I agree with that, but I also think the opposite will happen. Say Alabama walks in and they beat Georgia, suddenly they have a bye, or suddenly they're the 5 seed. And I don't think that you should then move up if you're not going to move down. It has to be a risk and reward.
Yeah, I get that.
Or
That's
else
fair.
you wouldn't play conference.
But I think also, you get that win. I think it's the same thing, though. They go in and they really handedly beat Georgia. I think they're going to move up a lot. And if they win no matter what, they're going to move up a good amount. But I think it's less about how much is Bama going to move up. And if Georgia loses that game close, Georgia shouldn't drop that much.
I don't think they should drop that much, but I think they should drop to maybe the 7 or 8.
Yeah, I think that's fair. They both switch, but I don't think either way should really knock
out of the play.
Yeah.
Because I think also like dropping from a 9 to like a 10 seed or 11 seed is a lot different than dropping out of the playoffs.
Well, in our last minute before we end up, we got to make the prediction.
All right.
I don't think it's going to be very different answers or anything too complex, but give it to me. Who's going to win the Natty?
It's the boring answer. It's everyone answer. I'm going to go with Ohio State.
It's Ohio State.
They haven't played too much competition, and I do understand that, but they have handled every single. They played the guys in front of them,
and they
handled
win.
them, and they look poised. They look good. Sayin looks exactly the opposite of what everyone thought he was going to be. He looks phenomenal, and I don't see.
And this defense. This defense is. Have they given up? What was it? They've given up under 14 points in every game this year, 20 points or something.
I think it's 14. I think
it's just dominant. This team is just too good.
I agree.
Well, that is all for us on the B block. Stick around. We got a great C block and D block today, and happy holidays.
mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better this Christmas. And as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together this Christmas.
It's all good.
Hey,
But it's okay. Okay. That was a check. We can hear it because you know what we can hear, Frank?
What can we hear?
It's about that time. I'm feeling festive. You got that hat on.
Oh yeah.
And we know what holiday it is.
Sir.
And as you guys can tell by the song, Frank's for sure invited to the cookout. So he picked this song as we walked in today.
It's my favorite Christmas song.
And I gotta say, this is a banger. This is played in every household. It was played in my household. But we got a lot of topics to talk about today. Obviously, this will be the last block for at least for us, as me and Frank are on here. But A lot of things happened over the weekend in the sports world. NFL, NBA, a lot of different things, college football.
Let's talk about it, Kyle.
And we got to discuss it, Frank. I don't know how your Thanksgiving was, but how was it?
Hey, man.
Last time we were on here, we were about to go ahead to
Hey,
break,
man.
But how was
Thanks
it?
for asking.
Yeah, that's what I do. That was the last conversation
Wow.
we had when we were on here.
Wow. Kyle, you know what? Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
It was a good Thanksgiving. It was restful. It was good food, good family, good friends, good time, man. How about you, Kyle?
It was great. It was awesome. I was able to relax, chill for a couple days. How
was Sunday?
That's all I really like doing. Sunday. Oh, in regards to NFL, we'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Sorry.
Everyone has a bad day, and I think that was just the day for the Rams. I think we got to talk about it. They went. Carolina played Bryce Young and the Panthers. Ended up coming out of that game with a loss.
Yeah.
Coming out with a loss with the team.
Bryce Young, by the way, maybe like the most inconsistent quarterback.
Okay, I wouldn't. Okay.
He's very inconsistent.
He might be inconsistent, but I don't think a lot of people give him credit because
They don't. No, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying he's
real
a little
quick. I just think like it's the same thing. Same thing with Caleb Williams. Hey, like these dudes won Heisman trophies in college. Like they won the best award.
Doesn't always translate to the
I know,
NFL.
but the best award in college football, and majority of the times it should, and it kind of does. But it's like this dude won the best award for in college football to be the best player. So I just think within time with a good offensive line, he can perform well on Sundays.
I believe in Bryce Young.
And that's what he did on Sunday. That's what Caleb Williams is doing right now for the Bears. They're currently third in the NFL. But yeah, the Rams. Stafford had that fumble at the end of the game, which I think they were going to score a touchdown on that last drive. Didn't work out well for them, but that's okay. They only got, I think, 3 losses on the season now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But they fell to fourth overall in the NFL and opened up the division back to the Seahawks, which, as we wind down for their season, they play the Cardinals twice, the Lions, and then they play the Seahawks. So we'll see what that's looking like. But I know there's one team that you want to talk about, and that's the Patriots.
God.
So go ahead.
I mean, well, no, I'm saving my section till later.
Okay.
I really want to talk about this MVP race, Kyle.
Okay.
Because there's two front runners.
I did send you a picture.
There's two front runners
over the break,
That has changed.
and that was
You
Stafford.
did send me a picture of Stafford
and
over
Drake
May.
Yeah.
But now it has changed. Drake May is now favored. And the Patriots are on a roll, ladies and gentlemen. So we want to do a little debate, over making our cases for the MVP of the league. All right, so I want you to start us off. What's your case for Matthew Stafford?
I think Stafford's still the favorite to win the MVP. I just think his statistics kind of speak for itself. I mean, he's at 3,073 passing yards, 4 interceptions on the season, and honestly, that's a big factor when it comes to looking at overall performances from a certain player. 32 touchdowns, QBR is a little low, 67, but this is in comparison to Drake May. He has 3,400 passing yards.
I'll go through the Drake May thing. I want to make sure your case is finished. Are you done talking about?
No, I'm almost done. I just think.
Yeah, please. I want you to.
I just think obviously
Get your argument out, man.
I'm trying. Can you
Sorry,
can you let me finish? I know you're getting antsy over there.
Sorry.
Relax.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you got the Frank fit on and everything. I'm enjoying it, but let me finish. But I
One day I wear a bad fit.
no, it's not a bad fit. It's just a Frank fit. Like it's a fit that only Frank can wear. That's all it is.
All right.
So
Real quick, can you describe what a Frank fit
Okay,
is?
y'all.
So so a Frank fit is not that it's a bad fit. It's just this is an outfit. Just like it could be a Kyle fit, but since his name is Frank, it just rhymes better. So like if it's a Frank fit, it's an outfit that only Frank himself can wear. As you can see today, he's in Birkenstocks.
You know what we should call you?
No, I'm giving you props. I actually like
Bro,
it.
You like my fit today?
Yes,
No.
you're festive. You got the hat on. You got the soccer jersey. World Cup's about to start. I mean, we're all in season here. So
World Cup's a couple months away.
No, but I'm just saying we're heading into that mode. About to go into 2026. So like, a Frank fit is only an outfit that Frank can wear, and no one else can copy it. It's not. This is not a hate. I'm not hating on you. This is just something that I thought of, and it's like it can't be replicated. Everyone's unique to themselves, just like me. I'm unique to myself. No one can copy me, and that's what makes Kyle. Just like that's what makes Frank.
Okay. All
So,
right.
but back to Stafford and real quick.
Yeah.
I just think the interceptions from Stafford outweighs Drake May's interceptions. I know QBR is a little higher for Drake May, but I still see Stafford as a front runner here. The Rams are also a team that can make some noise in the playoffs, and only through 12 games right now they're fourth in the NFL. I know the Patriots, I believe, are still one. Yeah, they're one in the NFL. But
Yeah, Kyle.
I just think Stafford's still going to get it.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Okay.
So,
To each his own.
to everyone watching, all you just heard come out of Kyle, right? It's a lot of that.
How is that a lot of that? That's
lot
numbers.
of that.
What I say about numbers? Men and women
You want
like
to hear some
numbers.
numbers?
Numbers
You
don't.
want to hear some numbers?
I'm just saying. That's through 2025 season.
3,412 yards.
Yeah. Does that win the games?
That's 400 more.
What wins the games? Touchdowns. Who has more touchdowns?
Remind me who y'all have at running back.
No, I'm not talking about running back. This is QB.
But we're talking about again. You know what? I let you talk. So all right.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Now, Drake May is breaking records right now.
Yeah,
okay,
he's breaking
objectively,
records.
right? In past shows I've mentioned those. We don't need to go back to that. Right now, more passing yards. QBR pretty substantially better than Matthew Stafford. Right?
5 points.
That's a pretty substantial amount.
No, it's just for context for those who
Okay.
are
All
watching.
right. 5.9.
Okay.
He has 6 interceptions.
Yeah.
2 more
That's
than
what-
Matthew Stafford.
And that's what I think kills him.
2 more? No.
That's
okay.
the same.
All right.
That's
all
the
right.
same thing that happened to Lamar
He
Jackson
has
and Josh Allen.
23 touchdowns. Right? His record is 11-2. Currently on a 10-game win streak. All right? I saw a graphic they put up. Right? The quarterbacks, right? The longest win streaks of quarterbacks. I believe Big Ben is in the front with 13 win streak, and quarterbacks in their second year. I mean, believe Big Ben is up there with like 13 at the top, but Drake May is either like second or third with this 11-game win streak in his second year, right? 11-2 record. Who's he doing this though with Kyle?
I'm saying the Patriots. He has a good.
I'll tell you this:
supporting cast.
he's not doing it with Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua.
Yeah, but
He's doing it with Kayshon Boutte,
Are we not gonna act
Stephon
like
Diggs.
Devontae Adams leads the league in touchdowns?
Kyle Williams. What? But that's my. See,
He has 12 touchdowns.
Kyle Williams,
Okay.
Hunter Henry, right? Now, are these guys good? Yes. Are they Puka Nacua right now? No. Stephon's out of his prime. Kayshon is, I think, still a little bit of a raw talent.
Devontae's out of his prime too. His yardage is.
Puka Nacua is the best receiver in the league right now. He is doing this with guys who are not that good, because this is what a MVP caliber player does.
Yeah.
He makes his team better.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Now, also on top of this, they have Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson in the backfield. If you're sitting in the red zone, Matthew Stafford is going to be your guy. He's going to be passing the end zone every time.
Yeah. Matthew Stafford.
Right?
Give it to
The Patriots,
Devontae.
they're just going to hand it off to Trey. I think that's a good reason. I think also something we're not considering, Drake May is more of a threat on the ground than Matthew Stafford. I think that from what Drake May has done this year, breaking records, it's his second year in the league, right? Breaking records with this team that was not expected to make any noise. You said it. That was not expected to make any noise. I think he deserves the MVP.
Okay.
That's my guess.
I won't say that. If this is a team that wasn't expected to make noise, I mean, once Vrabel was hired as a head coach, it was like, oh, I'm saying, Stephon Diggs.
Come on now.
I'm saying heading into the season, it's not like you guys didn't make any new changes. But also,
True.
Drake May has been performing. But I'm saying what kind of limits his, I guess, resume in a sense is picks. Like it's picks and touchdowns.
bro.
At the end of the day, that's what the game is.
He has 2 more picks.
But I'm saying, then that's the same thing that happened to Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Why Lamar Jackson didn't get the MVP?
I think Lamar Jackson should have won the MVP.
But I know, but I'm just saying, like, different things like that can differentiate you from a bunch of other things.
So do you think Drake May should win the MVP, but he's not going to?
I think you need to finish the rest of the season. Because you
Fair.
can't.
As
I'm
it
just
stands
saying,
right
like,
now, though.
As it stands right now, I'm still giving it to Stafford. I'm still giving it to Stafford.
Just because of the touchdowns?
Because Devontae has 12, and that's significantly higher than the second person right beneath him. It's 12 touchdowns, and his yardage is not that much. It's not like
But
he's,
what's your point there?
No, but I'm saying like Stafford finds a way to get him the ball in the red zone. Because the game against the Seahawks, this dude had 8 targets and 1 reception for 1 yard.
Okay.
So like it's not like Stafford always gets in the ball, but when he needs to and when it counts, they score.
Maybe it's a crazy take. I think Drake May has a better
Okay, but
better toss-up ball.
to each his own. But
Now,
we know one thing. We know one thing.
What?
that both of these guys have in common.
Oh my God.
From the public, that both of these guys have in common
We're gonna be able to.
is some say that they're handsome,
Mm-hmm.
but some say that they're also wealthy. So I mean, it's just we just have to kind of exercise what they do, what they say about it. What you think?
I agree. Can you hear it?
I'm not hearing it yet, but I think we're about to. Let's go.
Is it going?
Hey,
Oh, we gotta do it on beat.
come on, come on.
There we go. No, wait. Yeah, I'm not.
Is it cause a nigga cook like a professor? I don't know how you feel, can you tell me? I won't know how you feel till you tell me. Is it cause a nigga has something well? Is it cause I'm a star? It could be my star scale. Got my chain and ring. My Rolex watch, it got 50 carats.
It could be QC.
Even
Maybe it's me.
Could be there for a while flight. Shopping in Beverly.
What's on your mind? I'm not saying you fine. Ain't so spend no time. So fine. Well, we know both of these guys. They're two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL
What a
right
dance
now.
break, by the way.
I mean,
We like to have fun here.
That's what we do.
Kyle and I.
Object.
We just like to have fun.
We gotta keep.
That's
keep
all
it
it's
rolling.
about.
We gotta keep it rolling. And,
Yeah.
and I think we can both agree that those two guys are two some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now. So, well, as we transition to our next topic, still sticking with football. We're gonna head and we're still sticking with football.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, we're still sticking. We have
Okay.
to. It's college football season.
Okay.
So let's just talk about the rankings of something that we've seen.
Yep.
I know you kind of had your thoughts on some of the teams that should be in there, some of them that
Vanderbilt
shouldn't.
should be in there.
And so I'm gonna let you go on about your rant with that.
Well, okay. So, Vanderbilt is more of a personal thing. I have a lot of emotion there. Right. I'm from there.
Is that because it's close
First
to? Is
time
that because
they've-
it's close to
very
home?
close to home. It's close to home. And they released, actually, I don't know if you saw this, they released a spreadsheet
Why?
to give a argument for why they deserve to be in the playoffs.
Okay.
I mean, crazy. But I think my real gripe has to do with some, and I think it's been talked about earlier in earlier segments. Why in God's green earth is Miami out of the playoff and Notre Dame is in?
I just think that they favor Notre Dame,
They shouldn't.
and I think that's an issue.
Miami beat Notre Dame.
Yeah, they're part of their two losses. And I think when it comes to college football in this sense, in this new whole playoff bracket, whatever, for top 12 teams, like the committee has favorited some of the similar teams that I've seen over these last 10 years. I think no matter what their schedule is, because the schedule is always different. You look at USC's schedule, for instance, next year, it's brutal. I mean, just looking at the teams right now, we'll say if those teams are anywhere as good as they will be next year, it's rough. You got Ohio State, you got Indiana, you got Oregon, you got Notre Dame, you got UCLA, whatever. Not really worried about UCLA, of course, but you got all these other teams. But it's like I'm seeing the same thing, and for them for Notre Dame to be picked above Miami, I just think at that point there's not much you can do because it's out of your hands, literally.
What do you mean?
Because yes, Notre Dame is 10-2. There's other teams in there that are 10-2, but Notre Dame obviously isn't compared to Georgia, Indiana, Texas Tech, the top 4 teams. But when it comes to that 12, 13, 14 mark of who's going to be in there, or just in cases like that, not saying this case specifically, but it also happened 2 years ago when Alabama got picked over Florida State after Jordan Travis tore his ACL or whatever.
The situations are different.
And
that was the reason.
I know,
There's
but
no reason.
no. It's just the same frustration. Why I just think the committee's going to favor who they want if they have a good record. No one in that
same record.
No, I know, but no one in that playoff has lost more than 2 games.
I got you.
But that's what I'm saying. They're going to look at it's Notre Dame, who was in the national championship last year, and you look at their losses, and then it's Miami, and and they weigh out who's played each other.
I just despise Notre Dame. I'm tired of this Notre Dame bias, Kyle.
Well,
I'm tired of it. Their best win is against us. Us.
That's I don't know what to say. I don't know. I didn't make the rules. I didn't choose them to be in the playoffs, but that's just what it is. And I think it's been the same thing that we've been seeing over the last few years. But you mentioned bias. There's a lot of bias. And, of course, well, it wouldn't be a Taco Troy show with me and Frank without there being Boston bias. So
It's gonna be quick today. Playing my theme music.
I know it's gonna be quick, but she gotta have it. So go ahead.
It's an Irish jig, Kyle.
I know what it is.
You know why?
Why is that?
It's because of the Celtics.
Right.
Because my Boston Celtics, more specifically, Jaylen Brown, fadeaway Brown, been on a heater. He's been on a tear these last couple games. All right, averaging 29 points, 6 rebounds, 4.8 assists. He got 35, 33, 41, 19, and 42 these past 5 games. 42 against the Knicks, by the way. We won that game. I mean, listen.
Okay. Anyways.
No, sorry. Okay. So he's got the points. Thank you. He's got.
Go ahead.
He's got the points. Right. Okay.
I think that's the production team trying to say that they're not trying to hear nothing from Boston today.
It's a 12-9 record. We have a 12-9 record again. Who's he doing this with? Without his star.
12-9.
Peyton Pritchard with Derek White.
12-9.
I'm sorry. I want to give the guys flowers. You got to give the guys flowers, Kyle.
Yeah, I can give him some flowers and maybe a couple of hair tips because Fadeaway Brown is back at it.
That's all you
and
got.
Personally, I think he needs to go bald. It might be the best thing for him.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Wait a minute. Because
all he had against Jason Tatum was that he was corny. All he has against Jaylen Brown is that he doesn't have a great hairline.
I'm just saying
that's all he's got.
I had 19 points that you decided to cover up with the cough, but let's not forget that was a bad performance. And the Boston Celtics are nowhere near the top 10. But you know what team is in the top 10, specifically the top 3? That's right, it's the Los Angeles Lakers right now. You know what time it is, 15-5. That's what I'm talking about. All day, every day. No one can stop. Right now, 20 games. You know what time it is. Crypto's on fire. No, wait, hold on. Let me finish. You had your bias, right? So we know what it is. It's Lakers over here. City of Champions. That's what it is. We may not be the latest, but we're the greatest. So that's all I got to say. Anyways, 15-5. And LeBron came back, but that's fine. He played off to the side. Give me some assists. But you know what Luka was doing? Averaging 30. You know what Austin Reeves was doing? Averaging 30. And that's all we care about. Because right now, Lakers look good. And we know that West is way tougher than the East. So if I'm the Boston Celtics, 12-9? Really? Jaylen Brown? Really? Come on. I don't care who's injured. It's all about your performance on the field. Your production speaks for itself. In any case. And the court. Yeah, field. Because you shoot from the field.
You know who's stopping you, Kyle?
No.
Shea.
I don't care who's stopping. Yeah, they're 20-1. That's okay. But anybody can
It's an off year for us. This is make or break.
No. Anybody can be beat on any day.
LeBron's retiring.
That's fine. And you know what? We're transitioning into a new era.
DeAndre Ayton's washed.
He's not washed. He's actually been playing pretty well. Because you know why? He's in a place where he wants to play. And you know what DeAndre Ayton does? He's dominating on the court. So, I think he's in Los Angeles. He's no longer in Portland. Because in Portland, there ain't nothing to do in Portland. And when you come to Los Angeles, you're in an area, you're in a place that makes you want to win. And you want to win championships. And right now, through 20 games, I'm cool with 15-5. I'm cool with that, Rui. He can do his thing. He might have some off nights, but I know one thing that Luka's gonna do. He's gonna give me 30, and that's what I need.
Because LA is the city. LA is the city of champions in terms of basketball, right?
No, just in sports. In sports.
In sports.
In sports. How is that wrong? Dodgers? We just won the World Series. Lakers?
Same amount as the Red Sox.
What are you talking? I know, but I'm just saying.
Continue.
The city of champions. Dodgers.
Yeah.
Lakers. Come on,
Lakers have less chips. I'll say this, Kyle.
Okay.
One city is called the City of Champions. The other is not. Boston's called the City of Champions.
Oh my gosh! No one cares about this. Who looks at the Celtics and is like, "Oh,
it's an off year."
An off year. You guys had too many of those. Anyways,
we won a chip.
No, you too many off years. It's like
that is insane. Y'all have too many off years.
No. It's like every 5 years. Like, bro, you hadn't won in 2024. When was the last time you won before that? 2008, 16 years? Oh, But then you won't see another one until another 16 years.
When's the last time y'all won since 2020?
I'm just saying, 2010. That's 10. That's 10 years. Shorter span. I'm saying we had a shorter span in championships than you, bro.
I got it, man.
You got to be the latest, but it's all good. We're still the greatest though. But
18 chips to say otherwise.
Okay. Anyways,
and you got that Mickey Mouse ring. Mishka, Mushka, Mickey Mouse.
I'm getting tired of everybody saying that's a Mickey Mouse ring. I don't care what anybody says.
Carl.
No, I don't care what anyone says. That is the hardest championship to win.
I
There's
love having
home court advantage.
having the Lakers at Disneyland.
No,
at
bro.
Disney World to play in the NBA Finals.
You realize there's no home court advantage. That's me against you. I'm a better basketball player than you, and I showed that. And I won the championship. And I couldn't even hang out with my family afterwards. So, anyways, moving on to another potential Laker prospect. And I'm going to say it right now. I'm saying it right now. I'm saying it right now. And I know we had some discussions in the production meeting. Giannis, you got to come to L.A. Now,
Absolutely.
Granted, you might have to give up Austin Reeves. We'll think about that. But could you imagine Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka Doncic, and wait a minute, and LeBron? Not saying LeBron will give me the points, but could you just imagine that right now in the Lakers?
Break down the trade. What do you guys got for him?
I'm just saying, like, I'm still on the fence about Reeves. You're gonna have to give up a guy who gets 30. And right now, Giannis is just, I mean, maybe some busted ACL predictions out there because Giannis did go down earlier tonight. So we'll see what's happening with that. But if you get rid of Giannis, the Lakers are gonna have to give up some stuff. And you could take who else? You take Dalton Knecht, you could take some draft picks. Probably gonna have to throw Reeves in there. But to get Giannis, I'm doing it. We get superstars. If we get Luka, we can get him.
You done?
No, I'm not done.
He's going to the Knicks.
No.
He's going to the Knicks.
He's not going to the Knicks.
He is going to the Knicks.
He's not going to the
He
Knicks.
wants to go to the Knicks.
That's fine.
He's going to the Knicks.
He's not going to go to the Knicks. Who do the Knicks give up?
Cat.
That would make why?
What do you mean, why?
Why?
Giannis is a better center.
No.
What?
No. He would look better on the Lakers.
He'd look better on the Lakers.
Yeah.
And what is the basis for that?
He would just look better on the Lakers because if he goes to the Knicks, think about it. You have Brunson, right? Brunson is honestly the guy for the Knicks right now over Cat.
And you're saying Luka's not?
No, I'm saying Luka's the guy for the Lakers. I never said he wasn't. Luka.
So then what's the point here?
The point is, if Giannis were to come to the Lakers, that's a great complimentary for Luka.
Same thing in New York, except New York has things to trade.
No,
and he wants to go to New York.
But if New York trades majority of, I would say if New York trades some of the players on their team that actually help them build a good foundation, all you're gonna have is, I'm just saying, who would you give up if you're New York? Who would you give up?
Cat.
Besides Cat, it's not just gonna be Cat for Giannis.
Besides Cat,
it's not just because it's not just gonna be Cat and Giannis.
Cat and throwing a couple draft picks. Yes.
I don't.
You know why I think he's going to New York? First of all, he wants to go to New York. He said he wants to go to New York. Second of all, he said this. This is a quote. He said, "You know what I want? I want Luka to the Lakers. I want Nikola Jokic to New York Knicks. I want all the Europeans playing in all the big markets to see something incredible." He wants to go to the Knicks.
You said Jokic to the Knicks?
That's obviously not going to
No, but I'm saying that's what he said, right? So if you look on his Twitter, I do believe he deleted everything from Milwaukee on his Twitter except one picture. And that has Kobe Bryant in it. So, all I'm saying, he could have had a picture of him at the Madison Square Garden, but I don't see that anywhere.
Speculation.
I don't see that anywhere.
All I know is he talked about
Can somebody find
New York
that
and dreaming about going to the Knicks.
That's fine. He said big market, so that could be LA or New York. I'm saying,
if
he comes to the Lakers, don't be surprised.
Feasibly, who are y'all trading?
Giannis
who
is
are
a
y'all
Los
trading?
Angeles Laker.
No.
I don't know, because I believe in Rob Pelinka. He can get it done. If anyone can do it, it could be him.
You aren't going to get a trade like Luka Doncic every day of the week.
But we got it anyway. No one thought that was happening.
Yeah, why?
We got it anyway.
You know why?
Somebody fumbled the bag.
Because you had a GM who you traded with who's now fired.
Oh, well, but you know what the Bucks do? The Bucks don't have a good management either. They got rid of Chris Middleton. They got rid of Jrue Holiday. And this is after they came off of an NBA championship against the Suns in 2021. Only player they got on there now, I think that is really good. Oh, wait, let me forget. They cut Damian Lillard. What sense does that make? And the only player they got now is Bobby Portis.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
No, besides Giannis.
No, thought his brother.
Oh my god, that dude is like John Morant's dad on the sidelines, bro. Come on. Anyways, we'll see what happens with it. We'll see what happens with the Lakers. We'll see if Giannis actually comes to the Lakers. It'd be great. I might jump through the roof if that happens. To be
Yeah,
honest.
you'll be jumping for joy.
Like that'd be insane. And Laker fans, we do this. We did this with Kyrie Irving. We did this with Paul George. We did this with Carmelo.
I could see.
We did this with every top player.
I could see Adam Silver stepping in there and saying,
Why would he do that?
"What happened with Chris Paul?"
That was David Stern, and David Stern owned the Hornets, so he can't do that. Adam Silver, if he's already not hated right now, he's gonna get hated even more if he does.
No, I mean you're right.
But I'm saying, like, the only reason if Chris Paul would, speaking of Chris Paul, I have to talk about.
No, I agree. Let's
talk about this real quick because Chris Paul was cut by the Clippers on his farewell tour. Basically, Steve Ballmer and the management team for the Los Angeles Clippers said we're gonna cut that short. We're gonna cut that. We're gonna cut that short. And honestly, I think it was a bad move. Like
why?
Well, I mean, this dude's on his.
I don't disagree with you, but why?
No, I just think this dude is on his last year here, his last season in the NBA. He knows he's not going to get an NBA championship. He went there once with the Suns, didn't get it, and now he's on his farewell tour with the team that he, had like some of the greatest moments with, and he's trying to end it here, and then he cut his term short. I think you should just let him play it out for the rest of the season and let him retire. Let him go to Cabo, do it once. But now it's just like
you're not entire. But I think the reasoning behind it was he was very negative about the management and the players.
I don't blame
which
him.
I don't blame him for. I know I agree with what you're saying. I'm just saying that's probably why they did.
The Clippers have had some of the best things in the NBA since the new arena and since Ballmer. But like, I have yet to see the players do anything substantial in the playoffs. You get to the playoffs. You had Kawhi. Kawhi's always injured. You had Paul George. Where's Paul George now? You had James Harden. James Harden can't do it by himself. And it's like you have all these things, but to get out of the West, you ain't beating 5 teams out the West.
That's crazy. I mean, there'll always be big bro to the Lakers, but like, I mean,
wait a minute, big bro to the Lakers.
Yeah.
Who are you saying that to?
That's the word of the year, rage bait, this year.
I know that's the word of the year, but you ain't rage baiting me.
Fell for it like a house of cards.
No, I definitely didn't.
Put that one in your book.
I didn't.
Yeah, you got the grilled cheese line. I got house cards. Chords.
Okay, are you done? Why are you being a bandwagon right now? You hopping on my stuff.
Hopping on your stuff?
You hopping on my stuff. Why you being a bandwagon?
What stuff?
I'm just saying. It don't matter. You can get a left one or a right one. It's still gonna be a Twix.
Ooh, that was good. No, that was good.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying. Hey, come on.
I respect it.
Come on.
I respect it.
Come on. You know what time it is. But I just think the Clippers, they did them dirty, and it wasn't cool. CP3. I mean, even though I wasn't a fan of the Clippers, he kind of put LA on for a while. But real quick though, what's your Christmas list? Christmas wish list in sports.
Christmas wish list in sports. Drake May to stay healthy. Let's do 5.
All right.
Drake May to stay healthy.
Okay.
Drake May wins the MVP.
Okay.
All right. Jason Tatum to stay healthy.
Oh my God. Can we do something else besides Boston?
You want me to do something else besides Boston?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like and I know this is a big wish, I'd like the national championship to be played in the Rose Bowl. I think that'd be really cool. That's kind of a random wish, but like, yeah.
All right.
And last but not least, I think I'll say I hope that MLB puts in a salary floor.
That's never gonna happen. Anyway.
Whoa!
I'm just kidding.
Dang! All right.
I'm just kidding. But I mean, it might, but still, no one's gonna beat the Dodgers. My Christmas wish list will go a little LA biased. Giannis coming to the Lakers.
Wow.
Lakers winning the NBA championship. Dodgers going 3-peat. That's 3. What I got 2 more. For USC to win the national championship next year. Oh, I should have
said that. Yeah.
USC to win the national championship next year, and then we'll go. Oh no, we get one more.
Why didn't you do one for the Patriots?
No, Patriots.
Wishing us success. It'd be an good faith.
Okay, my wish list now. I hope the Patriots lose to the Rams in the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Or whoever they play, because the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl. They're just not going to win.
Wow, that's crazy. You heard it here. Hey, he just said it. Patriots are going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, anybody can go to the Super Bowl, but it's hard when people forget who lost. They always remember who won, though. It won't be the Patriots this year. But that's all the time we have for the Talk of Troy.
Crazy, by the way.
I'm Kyle. That's
I'm Frank.
We-
Merry
we-
Christmas.
We will see you guys again.
See ya.
Peace.
Welcome back to the Taco Troy here on the D Block, where we talk a big game but have even bigger opinions. Jude, holy heck, this is the Unk Block.
This is the young. Actually, remind me, Dylan. When did you join Taco Troy?
I joined Taco Troy my first semester here, so that was August of 2023.
Okay, yeah. So that was I just joined the semester before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So this is as Unk can get right here. We're not. I don't know if you might be a true OG. I don't know if you were around.
I was not a true OG. I was not.
You were the second wave.
I was the second wave. I was the second wave.
So me and you are the last of the second wave. Is that correct? That are still on this show?
That would be correct. The only other true OG that we really have is Nikki.
Oh, that's
she hasn't really made a lot of appearances, but she's still in the media center.
But
She's
Nikki's still
doing her
here.
thing.
So yeah.
Yeah, it would have to be though.
So yeah, this is it. Well, this is it for me. You have another semester.
I do have another semester.
But this is the final send off for me,
dance.
Jude.
This is the last
This is the last dance for Taco Troy. I mean, hey, I might make a Friday appearance. You never know, but that might be still in the cards. But this is my final ever regular appearance on Taco Troy. Man, it's been been some memories.
How's it feel?
Kind of bittersweet.
Bittersweet.
I didn't really actually think about this, and I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, this is like the last one.
This is the last one.
This
Well,
is
we got to make it a good one.
It'll be a good one. And, I'm already reminiscing, and I'm pouring out my emotions into this Chris Paul situation because
talk about it.
this is a little too crazy for me, dude. I mean, listen, I know the Clippers have been doing absolutely.
They're dookie. They're
yeah.
bad.
Thank you for summing that up for me. They've been absolutely piss poor.
Yeah.
But listen, and I know I get Chris Paul's washed. He has been, whatever. Last year, I get that the fact that he was, he's 40 years old. First of all, that should be number one. But last year on the Spurs, he played in 82 games, all 82. He started all 82. Yeah. So he isn't that washed, in my opinion. He also averaged 7.5 assists last year. That provides some value. I get that he was 39 years old and he can't move that he once did. And he hasn't started a game yet for the Clippers this year. Well, now he can't because he's gone. But still, he was averaging 3.3 assists in, 14 minutes a game, basically. I mean,
not great.
Yeah,
not great.
Not great.
I'll say this. They should have not cut him. Even if he was doing bad, like this is his farewell.
You're not going anywhere. The Clippers are not doing it.
Exactly. If they needed to free up a roster spot, and I will say, I literally thought about this. I was like, okay, maybe it's like move on, get put some young guys in the rotation. But like he's averaging 14 minutes a game. I mean, they got Jordan Miller.
Who?
Kobe Sanders, Cam Christie, the brother of Matt Christie. We're not gonna disrespect him, but look, Jordan Miller's also not a bad player either. But Yeah, they did this man dirty because you know what? He could have just the fact he started. Well, he didn't start on this team, but where he really made his true name.
Yeah, I mean,
and then to cut him, it's like you actually don't lose anything by keeping him on the team. To be honest,
I mean, unless he was like a locker room cancer, but I just can't really see him being that. Besides the fact that him and Ty Lue haven't spoken.
Or no, I should say
apparently
you don't gain anything from him
from cutting.
Like you don't gain anything outside of people being like.
I mean, I just saw the videos from when he was re-announced that he was back on the Clippers and he was crying and like all these fans were at his press
because he's also
conference,
it was like the first time in like years that he'd been able to be in LA with his family, play for a basketball team.
Yeah,
this is a cold word. I mean, it just kind of goes to show it doesn't matter how much you did for that team, how much you did for a person, they will always try to find a replace you.
Speaking of this though, I mean, this is not the first time it happened with a Clipper. I mean, same thing happened with Blake Griffin, and Ballmer went to go shake his hand when he's on the Pistons and he ran away from Ballmer.
But isn't that more on Blake Griffin?
No, I think it's more on Steve Ballmer. I will go into Steve Ballmer a little bit because I actually think that for all the stuff that he does for the fans, which is amazing, in terms of his fan treatment and his Intuit Dome, his little toy, and I don't care about how many toilets he has in the stadium and the secret pretzel recipe that he went to Switzerland for. I tried the pretzel. It was really damn good.
Okay.
I did not feel bloated. I did not feel bloated. Shout out USC sports mainmaster for Annenberg. But
there you go.
I will say, I think he's actually, in terms of the basketball aspect, he's a bad owner. He's a bad owner in a relationship standpoint with his actual players. He knows how to run an organization really well in terms of the business side, right? He knows what the fans want. He's doing that. He's doing a really good job in terms of employees with the Clippers. I've heard great things about working for the Clippers. I just don't think he is really he's not great at the whole basketball aspect of it, which is kind of funny.
But I feel like to be fair,
it's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, it is smoke and mirrors. And I don't know who the GM of the Los Angeles Clippers is right now. And they made a lot of bad decisions, to be honest. I mean, first of all, like
maybe the worst trade in NBA history.
Probably the worst trade in NBA history, I have to say. Trading Shai Gilgeous-Alexander alone is a terrible trade, but the fact that also the Thunder got a pick that became Jalen Williams and they were used picks for whatever else. I honestly don't really have a big problem with Steve Ballmer. I actually think he's a good owner. I have to say, I think he's a good owner, and I don't really know him from a personal side, so I don't know what he is on the management when it comes to him and his players' relationship. But there's owners that we see. I mean, I think.
Well, that's true. It's better than an owner that doesn't try.
Right. He's pouring stuff into this team. Right. He's taking everything that he got from Microsoft and he's putting. I'm sorry. I'm taking this in. It's too annoying. It's too annoying. Frank. That could be Frank's bit. Whatever. But I actually think he's a good owner, and I just think the way this team has been constructed.
I mean, they were good last year.
They were good last year, but this idea that bringing on Bradley Beal, bringing on all these old guys,
right, I was gonna say,
like Brooke Lopez, like we knew it wasn't gonna work, right?
Your window is this year and this year only.
And we know there's the whole aspiration. They had a lot of aspiration to be good this year, but. Look, Kawhi Leonard, he's also just a player that doesn't show up when it comes to playing games. And Kawhi Leonard is a fantastic guy. That's no disrespect to Kawhi Leonard, but he just doesn't play games. So, look, a little bit's on Steve Ballmer. It's hard to call him a bad owner because he actually cares about the fans. And there's other owners out there that don't, and they're not willing to spend the money.
I'm not saying he's a bad owner. I'm just saying he's bad at the whole basketball and managing his players.
I'm actually curious. Who is the Clippers GM? Because if he is... If he is the actual GM too, he's like.
Well, I mean, Ballmer would have had to at least known about this move ahead of time.
No, of course. I mean, so Trent Redden, that's the general manager. But yeah, of course he seems like he has some oversight on like what happened.
Yeah, I just don't get cutting Chris Paul when he's probably your greatest ever franchise player and you're cutting him loose. It's just weird.
Just like you don't gain anything. From
and then him and Blake Griffin, like those are your two guys that you've had. Like that's probably like the faces of the like the whole franchise.
If I was Chris Paul, and I don't know if this is possible, I don't think they would do it, I would go join the Thunder. I would go ring chase so hard. I'd be like, you know what? I'm not even gonna play a minute. He could be Udonis Haslem and just be on the end of the bench and say, you know what? I'm just here to get a ring because you know what? That's all I need in my career.
Exactly.
Because I get made fun of, and no one's gonna at the end of the day be like, oh, he was a ring chaser. It's like, bro, it's Chris Paul.
I mean, there's many NBA players that haven't gotten a ring, but
no, there are. But I feel like that's the one catalyst on his career that has been hanging over.
Right. Yes.
Right. It's the low hanging fruit.
I did see he has higher odds to summit the Lakers than Luka Doncic winning MVP. So I don't know. Maybe that's
if I was. Yeah, I mean, it would be cool.
Maybe he'll actually be on the Lakers after that trade was vetoed. But
could be.
Anyways, we're going to shift gears a little bit because something is happening on Friday, and that is the World Cup draw for 2026 here in America. Well, also Canada and Mexico. But So I want to talk a little bit about before we get into the bigger picture of the World Cup, because that's going to be an excellent tournament. I'm so excited for that. I mean, the U.S. men's national team, there's a lot of expectations on them. I mean, this was supposed to be their golden generation in a sense.
It was.
And, you know,
And they lost the
Qatar,
Gold Cup to Mexico.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Well, that let's forget about that. But Qatar in 2022, I thought they had a pretty solid run.
They did, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Round of 32, right?
Or 16.
16?
Yeah, well, now they're going to have round of 32 because
Yeah.
they expanded.
Expansion, that's right,
Yes. But yeah, round of 16. I mean, they could have, I thought, won that game. But, well, I mean.
They played Netherlands, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they're if they had a better manager, they could have actually put up a good fight.
true.
But this year might be a little bit different. I mean, you know, a lot of these guys are in their primes right now. Like, you know,
A lot of them are playing in Europe.
and
That-
a lot
that
of
is-
playing
that
in
is a
Europe.
big bonus.
That's a good thing.
That
And
is
you have
a lot of big bonus.
And you have Mauricio Pochettino as your manager, who took Tottenham out of all teams to the Champions League final. So that is very impressive. And I will say their last 6 games are 4-1-1. I heard a lot of talk about this team being absolute garbage, but I think it was more Pochettino trying to adjust and getting the players on track. And he's been using a lot of, you know, kind of like B team, C team, like MLS players, and they just beat Uruguay 5-0.
Yeah, is Uruguay very good though? I feel like
I mean, they're salt, like they have.
I'm not
they
even
have
trying to disrespect, but I'm looking at these. I'm just looking.
They have big name players. I mean, it's not like Suarez and Cavani like it was.
Yeah, it's
but
not anymore.
You still have Valverde and Ugarte, so there's still you know, guys playing.
Japan is a good win. I'll give them. Japan's a pretty good team. I just feel like we're tying to Ecuador. We're beating Australia by 1 goal. Paraguay. That's my only thing. Look. It's been good recently, but I did watch that Gold Cup and that was embarrassing.
That was
embarrassing.
That was embarrassing. But I mean, look, I feel like this is, you know, they've turned the corner a little bit. But
So why are we talking about this though?
Oh, because I mean, well, first of all, they have like 4 or 5 friendlies against like the top European giants, and then they're heading into the World Cup. Yes, it's like trying to remember. I think Belgium might be one, but it's some of these countries that are like Netherlands might be another one, but a lot of these European countries are heading into it. But I mean, since the World Cup is on American soil, I feel like the expectations are really high for this team. But what do you see them doing? I mean, because now we have the round of 32, we have the round of 16. So I don't know, what are realistic expectations?
Realistic expectations start with who they get in their group. They can't, like, if they draw Spain or if they draw Spain, Argentina, I would even put Canada in that conversation. France, England, Brazil, Portugal. Like,
I will say,
are those the teams they can draw or
no,
they can't?
They can't draw.
Oh, so whoever's not in,
it's 2, 3, and 4.
Okay, but even if they draw teams like, I'm sorry, they play Colombia. I think Colombia is a better team than them.
I'm scared if they draw Morocco.
Morocco's also, I mean,
they went to the semifinals in 2022.
Hakimi's
exactly,
the leader of that group. No, I mean, even looking at, Japan could probably beat them. It was close. Norway with Holland.
And pot 3. Scotland as well.
Scotland. Yeah. McTominay's been, he's been a stud in Italy.
And then Egypt, you have Salah too. So I mean, like same thing. Like pot 4 too. If they qualify, you. So
I'm actually curious. How did they decide who got in these pots? Because
it's by the FIFA rankings.
Okay.
So since
they got lucky because every team in pot 1. I mean, I'm looking at it. Okay, Mexico, Canada, sure. They have Spain, Argentina, France, England, Brazil, Portugal, Netherlands. I mean, those are the best teams in the world.
I know, yeah. So that's that. Like they're not trying to draw those together, which is good. But I mean that's safe because we're all the hosts, so they put us in pot 1.
Yeah.
Boom. There you go. But I mean, I'm just saying in pot 4, if they qualify, Italy could be in pot 4. And Italy could end up being in our group.
Italy could be. I mean, that's a sad thing that we got to say now. Italy could be.
I mean, they might miss out on the third
straight World Cup.
That's bad. But so I mean, it does depend, of course. But if you're, just say like somewhere they get like an average group, not bad, not good.
I mean, to be honest, in past, I think they can come out of the group, right? Because it's the first 2 seeds. I'm correct, right? You got to whoever obviously is the winner of the group advances. But I'm
trying to remember if it was the expansion, but I think it's just the winner.
I think, to be fair, this is a team that is capable of making it to the knockout stage because they've done it before. The competition has obviously got a lot tougher in those kind of third world countries. Not the first world countries are now just dominating them themselves. So, but if they get in a group like with Norway or even like Morocco, they're cooked. I mean, I'm even gonna say Colombia. Like Colombia's got some studs.
I mean, I don't know who can defend Holland.
Exactly. I don't know who can defend Holland. I mean, we'll talk about who's gonna be the Golden Boot later, and I think he has the potential to do it. So
interesting.
I think, to be honest, the best chance is like a round of 16. Because once you get to the round of 16, that's where you see the Argentina, the France.
That is true. I mean, it really depends. Yeah, like you mentioned on who they draw. I mean, honestly though, I think in any shape or form, I do think it's going to be favorable for the most part because you're the host. The host usually does get favorable draws.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. They'll get to it's round 64 now.
Or Believe 32 and then 16.
Okay, so realistically, they can win one knockout game. I'll say that the talent that I've seen so far. I mean, Christian Pulisic is one of the best players on AC Milan, and AC Milan is one of the best teams in the Italian league.
He is the best player on AC Milan. Yeah,
I don't think he is. I think it's Rafael Leao, but that's for another conversation. I think Pulisic is good, but when we're talking about pure skill set, Leao is there's levels to that game, right? There's levels to that game, but Pulisic still, he is commanding that midfield very much well.
I mean, hey, he is their leading goal scorer, so that's all I gotta say.
No, I mean, no, he's gotten the goals. They're a top team in the Italian league. I'm no disrespect to Pulisic. When I look at the rest of their squad, I mean, like I mentioned, right? They have a lot of guys that are playing in Europe. I look at it like, Chris Richards, I know he's playing in Europe.
Yeah, he's starting. McKinney, Tyler Adams, who scored like an absolute banger for Bournemouth. I saw that goal.
That was a wild goal.
Great. I mean, Dest as well has.
Is Aronson playing?
Yeah,
he is playing
for Leeds. But
Tillman, I know he's in the German league.
Tillman's good. Dest playing Champions League.
Is Gio Reyna gonna actually ever play for the men's team?
Yes, that's the thing. I don't think. I mean, he's not doing great at the club level, but I mean, he just played in all those friendlies and he was really good.
Yeah,
and I think they're gonna take him.
He's such a funny name because I feel like whenever we get around like the U.S. men's national team, kind of that season, Gio Reyna needs to start. Gio Reyna needs to start, and he's a great player, but it's just like you never actually see the actual impact on the field, but. Hopefully he turns it around.
Yeah, on the club level.
I know he also wasn't. He didn't get played a lot during the World Cup in 2022. Like
because of the beef.
Yeah,
that whole drama scenario. I do think realistically, getting out of the group should be easy.
They should. I mean, if they draw, and like
I see them winning round of 32. I do think though, like the ideal goal would be for them to go to the quarterfinals.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
100%.
But the thing is about 100%. The thing about this group of players, I mean, like in the past, like the U.S. has not had the quality to match the other nations, but they've been able to win games because of their heart and their hustle, which I don't really think this group has. That they have the actual like talent and skill to make it to the quarterfinals, depending on who they play.
And why do you say they don't have that?
I just really don't think they have that fight unless they played Mexico. Like I've only seen it when they played Mexico. Like they've lost to Canada.
To be fair, Mexico, they didn't have all their guys.
That's true. I mean,
they were playing without Pulisic.
I will say though, when they beat Iran in the World Cup in 2022, I saw that when Pulisic scored and he got hit in the nuts. Yeah, like I saw that. But I mean, like they were lifeless against the Netherlands in the round of 16.
I think the U.S. Obviously, I don't think they're gonna win. I don't think they're gonna come close to it. But this is truly a chance with it being on American soil for the U.S. to show something, because this is now on the American soil and say, you know what, this is what we can be. You're not going to beat the Argentinas, the Frances of the world, but show like we do have that talent for that next level. Because right now, realistically, you talk to anyone abroad. I mean, you were just in London.
I was, yeah.
No one takes the U.S. serious in soccer.
Oh, until they play England and they tie them or something.
Right? Yeah, like they did last year. But but that's even like a one-off. Like you kind of have to show some consistency. So if it could be like you go back to round 16, you put up a good fight against a team like Netherlands again, people might respect it. Obviously, I think the end goal is obviously to win the championship, to win the FIFA World Cup.
I don't know if that'll. I hope that's a realistic goal in our lifetime.
In our lifetime. Yeah, I'd like it to be. But
I feel like it's going on that right way. I just I don't know. Maybe Kevin Sullivan is the guy who needs to do it.
Maybe it is Kevin Sullivan.
But maybe that's
he's at Manchester City right now, right?
Or he's going to be. But he's like what, 16? So hopefully, give it 10 years and we'll see how that happens.
Hopefully, it's not another Landon Donovan career, but
I hope not. I mean, but Landon had a good career, but he failed abroad, of course. But anyways, okay, before we head out of here.
We gotta talk about this.
We need to talk about our general predictions here and what's going to happen this World Cup. I mean, obviously it's expanded. I believe it's 64 teams. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is crazy. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of nuts. I'm kind of excited to kind of see this expanded format work. But I want to hear we need to run through the award predictions. So we got the winner. Mm-hmm. You could say who you think might play in the finals. We obviously don't know because it just depends on how seeding goes and brackets and stuff like that. But winner, maybe final matchup. Golden Ball for best player, Golden Boot for most goals scored, of course, Golden Glove, best goalie, and then the best young player of the tournament. So I believe the best young player is under 21.
Like we'll get to that. I just have a friend, but let's start with winner.
Yes.
Who do you think's gonna win?
I'm going to stick with it. I said this after the Euros, of course, so I'm going to stick with Spain. Yeah. I do think they're the best all-around team. I mean, I feel like my pick is less confident now than it was maybe a year ago, though. I just feel like maybe, I mean, they look so good together, but they may be a little bit disjointed with all the stuff around Yamal. And sure, but I do think it's Spain. I mean, they're just coming off the Euros where they just won the Euros, and Yamal was the best player in that tournament when he was, 18 years old? Or 16? 16, 17? Yeah, 17, insane. I just really think it's, their time. Yeah. And I feel like Yamal is going to have a Kylian Mbappe moment where in 2018 where France won. But that's for further down the line in this conversation. But I do think it's Spain. I do think the second best team, I don't know if this will play out in the final. I do think Argentina can get back to the final though.
Yeah,
I do think think they have a strong enough team. I don't know how much impact Messi will have. I think he'll have some impact. Yeah. I can see him getting 3 goals.
They still got some good
dudes. Julian Alvarez, Lautaro Martinez. They have decent players and their team is still good. Martinez will still be the goalie. Yeah. And they have the experience, of course. Them and France. I think it's either them or France.
France is scary. My winner, and honestly, I could have chosen Spain, but I'm gonna be a little different. I'm gonna go Portugal.
What?
I know it's crazy to say, and I'm a Messi fan, so I honestly don't even want to see Ronaldo win.
No,
they got the best midfield in the world.
That's a good
Neves
point.
and Vitinha are disgusting.
That's a good point.
I mean, and the fact that they also play on the club level together, and I mean, we talked about Leao. I really like Leao, and then they have Cristiano Ronaldo, and I mean, honestly, that dude doesn't age.
Well, and then they'll start Bernardo Silva, and
Bernardo Silva.
They have tons of. I look at the rest of their team, and even though some of these dudes have been starting playing in Saudi Arabia, I think they're still playing at a high level, like Cancelo. I mean, I love their goalie, by the way, Diogo Costa for Porto. He's really good. He's young. He was really solid in the Euros. I like him a lot.
They won the Nations League. They beat Spain.
They're a very solid team.
They beat Spain.
I just am kind of scared that Ronaldo's going to weigh him down.
Well, fair, but I just think when I look at that midfield and I say you got to have the best midfield, and Spain has a really good midfield. Who can compete with Spain in the midfield? It's Portugal. I mean, they have Vitinha, they have Neves, and if they control that, they can likely win. But I think Spain is by and far the favorite. I mean, you just look at that team top to bottom. You have young player after young player, young Barcelona player after young Barcelona player. That's just the reality.
Yeah,
that's the reality of it.
So who would you say would be the second if you were to pick?
I mean, it would probably be Spain, to be honest. I'd say. I mean, if I'm not picking Spain as my first, they got to be my second. I mean,
that's
Argentina,
consensus.
sure. France. Honestly, France is gonna make a strong push. France will make a strong push.
I mean, they're in the final, 2022. So it's. And still, they have such a strong team. It's they haven't really lost anybody.
I'm trying to think of that.
Can't
knock down Germany. I mean, Germany always seems to be in the conversation. All their guys.
I will say this is. I mean, with Thomas Tuchel as their manager, this might be England's best chance to do something.
It's not coming home.
But no,
it can't. If it comes home on American soil,
I don't think they had the team to do it.
We've lost the argument. That's the problem. If England wins it on American soil, they will forever have bragging rights.
I would say
this
is Brazil's weakest team that they've had. I think in decades.
They didn't really do well last year in 2022.
No, and their team is weaker this year. So I'm not touching them at all with a
But what about golden ball?
Well, I said Spain wins, so you know who my golden ball will be. Lamine Yamal. It's kind of just like 2018 when France won, when Mbappe, same thing, when he won, and he was phenomenal at that tournament. Yeah. He was, I forgot how old he was, but still, he won the best young player, I believe, because he was under 21.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
I think it's the same thing. So I'm going with Spain. I'm going with Yamal for that.
I'm gonna go his teammate. I'm gonna go Pedri.
Wow.
I'm gonna go Pedri because
you got the losing player winning golden ball.
I do. Does it? I guess it typically goes to the winner.
Well, it could be loser. I mean, Messi won when Argentina lost.
That's right. I mean, if I was sticking on Portugal's side, the golden ball would probably go to Cristiano Ronaldo because Cristiano Ronaldo. But if I had to pick, because the name brand, I would have to say it'd be Vitinha. Vitinha, I'm telling you, that PSG midfield is disgusting. There's a reason that they won pretty much every important European tournament last year. So Vitinha controls the midfield. So I'd have to go him as the best player. But I just think a midfielder, someone that is both on the offense, defensive end, they honestly have the best case to win best player because they affect it in so many ways. Where Lamine Yamal, don't get me wrong, I mean that left foot hook is disgusting out the box, but. Yeah, no, I'd probably have to give it to Pedri. But Golden Boot, I'm going to go, I know you got one. I'm going to go Holland because this dude just scored goals. And the fact that Norway is in it, that means he's going to have an opportunity to score
I was going to say, you think that Norway can go that far where Holland can...
That's the thing. That is the thing. that is very much the thing. But if they do, even if they make the round of 16, I mean, Holland could score a hat trick in every game. That's not even a question. I mean, that's not even he can literally score. And to be fair,
I mean, definitely they play a third world country.
No, exactly.
He's going to put up like 6 goals. That's what he did in
he
all
has
the
before.
Yeah,
he has
that's what he did in
before.
all the younger tournaments.
So, I mean, yeah, I would say if there's anybody who I trust most to score goals, it is going to be Holland, and because they're also just going to feed him.
That's fair. Okay, well, I did say Argentina second best.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they lose in the final, depending on how it goes. So I will stick with an Argentina player, which is Julian Alvarez.
Yeah.
Well, he was phenomenal in the 2022 World Cup. Obviously Lautaro was their main striker, but Julian Alvarez was also terrific. And I think that he'll have a bigger role in this World Cup. And I honestly think there's a shortage of really elite strikers, I think, in soccer right now. And I do think he's one of those guys where he's an elite striker, I think, for Atletico and for Argentina, for both. You don't really get guys that can perform on both levels.
That's true.
In Spain, they don't have an out-and-out striker. They're going to use...
They use a lot of wingers.
They're going to use some sort of false nine. It could be a midfielder gets pushed up, or it's Orzabal, who's also a winger, who's moving central. So I don't really think they'll have someone as a top scorer, but yeah. Okay, Golden Glove. I'll go. I'm just going to say Spain's keeper, Unai Simon. If I had to go with him, I'll just go with that. It could be Emi Martinez again if Argentina reached the final, but I mean, it's just kind of, it's usually whoever wins the World Cup and whoever's keeper it is. But again, if they have some sort of like stand-up performance where, I don't know, let's say, France gets close enough and Mike Magnan is phenomenal, then maybe.
I'm going to go Mike Maignan, the keeper for France. I mean, he's a stud at AC Milan.
I was going to say,
He has 35 saves on the season. He's only allowed 9 goals in 12 starts, which is pretty damn good. And he's also just been a stud at the international level. So I'm going to keep it short, but Mike Maignan is definitely...
Yeah, it's kind of... We'll see, team, how far your team goes award. Yeah. I feel like a little bit. Because I feel like Tim Howard got robbed in 2014.
Well, best young player. I mean, this award is probably going to go to the same dude for 4 years. Until he can,
Lamine Yamal. Do you same answer here?
Okay. Probably the same answer because he is on Spain and he's going to get some most notoriety. The one guy I have been watching recently, not consistently, but Estavo, the guy for Chelsea. He's Colombian?
Or Brazilian.
He's Brazilian. I mean, if he's really going to be a central piece of that Brazilian team, there's a chance he could win young player, right?
There's
a chance. I mean, the problem is like Lamine Yamal is going to get most of the shine, and we know how these
teams
go. So it will probably be Lamine Yamal. I'm trying to think of any other like young guys I can think off the top of my head.
But level. I mean, for him, I think it'd be he could definitely find a spot in that Brazilian team. I mean, he does have to compete with Vinicius and Rafinha.
That's fair.
But if he comes off, as that first sub as a winger, and he makes an impact. And let's just say probably I don't know, Rafinha, or I'm gonna say Rafinha here. If one of those dudes isn't making an impact and he's scoring goals off the bench, then obviously you have to make that change. And then there you go.
But I mean, Lamine Yamal is definitely gonna get more of the burn. So
I mean, crap, he was running every day on 60 minutes. I saw a post the other day. There's only 4 soccer players that have ever been on 60 minutes. It was him, Messi.
They've been on for what?
60 minutes.
Like in total?
Like the program, like the show.
Okay. Yeah.
It was him, Messi, Beckham, and Pulisic, and Yamal.
Wow.
So I mean,
I didn't actually know that. I didn't know he was on 60 Minutes.
It was the worst interview I've ever watched in my life. Probably they're asking him questions about his braces and just like not like I don't know. Yeah. They're just trying to get like personality out of him, which I get it, but they're not like great questions.
All right, but we got a few minutes left here. Dylan, you were in London, so we got to talk about it a little bit.
Oh yeah.
You unfortunately flew 9 hours to watch Manchester United lose. But how was that experience? How honestly was that experience going to Old Trafford and everything about it?
It was pretty crazy. I mean, also too, I think it was kind of, there was some like heavy hearts around the stadium a little bit before the game because the Stone Roses bassist, Stone Roses is like, it never really translated in America, but they're a big band in Manchester and the England scene, and they are big United supporters in the sense that Oasis are big Man City supporters. Sure. It's the same thing, and their bassist passed away, I think, a couple days before, and so they did like a tribute. They were playing Stone Roses songs throughout the pregame and whatever, and they had tributes. So that's
very cool.
Cool to see, and I guess George Best also died 20 years ago, on that weekend, so they did George Best tribute.
Okay.
So there was a lot of like tributes going on in the stadium, and the supporter section just was really cool. We did like a little tour of like their museum and history, and so that was awesome. Free food, free drinks. But the whole, I mean, it's just so different because when you're going, the turnstiles are so skinny because they've had a whole history of like people stampeding and dying off of like a stampede.
Yeah,
like,
I believe it.
They have some weird deaths because they don't have guns, so it's just weird to us. But yeah, stampedes.
Was that your first European soccer game?
Oh yeah.
So overall, how would you rate it?
I'd rate it like honestly really positively. Of course, soccer's a quick sport.
Yeah.
You're in and out, but
That's kind of the beauty of it, right? Like you only are watching the game. There's not a lot of
That's
other
true.
like stoppage. There's not all this going on. Like it is the game.
you're also crammed as like you're tight.
Yeah.
The seats were made for short European dudes, and I'm like 5'11". I am like I guess I'm above average.
You're above average there,
but
and Manchester too.
yeah, but like, and I'm not like fat by. I mean, like whatever. I'm pretty skinny, but. Like I still felt like I was like crammed, and I'm like, okay, this is a little intense.
I get that.
But I mean, the whole thing too. Like at halftime, I wanted to just like go walk around the concourse, but people are just on the concourse because you can't drink beer in your seat because they're gonna chuck the beer at the players because they're so uncivilized. They don't know what to do with their drinks.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was a great experience. I'm sure you with your
I had my
Roma
fun.
games.
And I will say it's different in Italy though. You are allowed to bring drinks into the stands.
Yeah, because they're civilized.
Civilized is that's a generous word for Italians. But I will say I went to a game in Dublin and it was the same thing. Like a soccer. Like they had literally a bar inside of the stadium, so you could sit in the bar and drink whatever your Guinness or whatever. But then the moment you leave, like. You had to, dispose of your drink somehow, which is like
UK stuff right there.
Yeah, UK stuff. But yeah, no, I mean European soccer is just like I miss it. It's honestly just like a different beast. It's this whole own thing, and they probably did. They sing before every game. They probably have an end song that they sing.
I will say though, maybe it's because of the circumstances of how that game went, but the supporter section wasn't very lively.
Really.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were losing 1-0
they were losing
the whole
1-0,
game
yeah.
to a 10-man Everton team. But it was kind of cool to see, like, we were looking directly across from the Everton supporters.
Yeah.
And when they scored, like, just seeing,
But
like, all those
crazy.
hands, like, going crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
that
were
was cool.
crazy.
But I wish United scored at least one goal, and I could have, felt that.
know.
And if I went, like, the next game, they won 2-1. Against
play?
Crystal Palace.
Oh.
But it was on the road. So the atmosphere wouldn't have been
Well, it's
the same,
only
but-
a reason, Dylan, to go back to Manchester.
I agree. Or to go to London.
Or go to London, yeah. I mean, again.
And go actually watch a Chelsea game for a reasonable price. But I know I wish I was able to do that. But
Yeah.
it was I'd rate it very highly though in my sporting experience. But
I mean, would you say it's one of the best sporting experiences you've been
yeah,
to?
I mean, there's no wasted like motion or anything.
That's
like,
what I appreciate
production
the
about
most,
the game.
yeah.
Like,
and even there's not really jumbotrons. I mean,
there's no
don't-
replays.
Yeah.
Like people.
Did they not have a screen at all at Old Trafford?
I mean, they did, but
But
it's
it's, like,
very
kinda tucked
small.
away.
And like at halftime, that's where people go in the concourse to get the beer. They place paper bets, like just crazy stuff, and then they just huddle around and they watch the highlights on this really crappy TV. And I'm like, this is insane. I'm like the American sports are just so like productionized as hell, and it's like this whole like production.
It is. I mean,
a lot goes into it.
I will say, coming back from Europe and watching like the first NFL game, I actually was like, holy cow, this is so slow. I can't no, I'm not even kidding with you. Like I watched the game and I was like, wow, this is
you are watching
slow.
an NFL game too.
No, true. You're watching an NFL game.
TV timeouts for
100%. There's TV time. I was just like, damn. Like I wish it would. I can't understand from the European perspective how you watch soccer and then you come back, or you watch NFL and then you're like, yeah, this is slow. It's 3 hours for like 60
Or
minutes
4.
or 4 sometimes.
No.
You have all the commercials and you have these it's whatever.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jude. But it was a great last episode here
For one last time.
on the Talk of Troy. Yeah, I'll be gone, but I will be around as an alumni now.
He'll be an official unk. He joins Ben Papp, Ethan, all the grad students.
Chris Babona. Wow, we can't forget to mention my former co-host.
Yes, he joins the unks. I'm one semester closer, but
I mean, yeah, it was a great run on Talk of Troy, the first organization I joined here. So I'm very grateful for the time that I've been here with you, Jude, and with everyone here on Talk of Troy. But
it's been a pleasure.
That will wrap it up for tonight for Wednesday. It's our last show, our last regular show. I mean,
last Wednesday show of the year. Last Wednesday show.
And we'll have a Friday show?
We will have a Friday show with a special guest.
Stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for that.
Friday shows are always fun, so
They
make
are.
sure to tune in on Friday. But we'll see you guys then on Friday for our last ever show of the semester.
See ya.